Casually FC, welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. My name is Marshalldbdx. I'm accompanied by Ahmed, Winter Surfer, Scott, Oliver, and today we have a jam-packed show for you guys. We're going to talk about all sorts of things. Thiago Silva potentially leaving, Mauricio Pochettino finally being here. But before we go ahead and get started and get to that, you guys already know, let's do the admin. Like the video so we can get out there in YouTube's algorithm. Make sure you subscribe. We are 5 away from hitting that 1,800 mark. So if you guys would be willing and so gracious as to help us out to achieve that goal, I would greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much. Also, be sure to check out the links in the description down below for Discord, Twitter, also, as well as other content. Leave a comment, let us know what you think about the show, and also consider being a member. 4 different tiers starting at 99p. We got some awesome emotes that you could use. You got Oliver in the chat using it already. And we got a big up to Blade Runner, also a member. And big up to anyone who has subscribed to the proper casual tier and up. Winter Surfer, Strasbourg Steve, OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, as well as Daniel. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get the show on the road, ladies and gents. Let's start off with this bit of news. Frozen tickets. Chelsea have moved to keep disgruntled fans out on side by freezing the price of general admission season tickets for the 12th successive year. The announcement will offer supporters some consolation for what has been one of the worst seasons for the club in recent years. Let's go ahead and move on to the next tweet I have related to this. Chelsea, according to Ben Jacobs, Chelsea have announced the Frozen GAs. The season has not produced results that any of us want. We know we are working towards we know what we are working towards, but equally we know that it will require hard work, determination, and commitment. We all want to see Chelsea back where we belonged and to share many more winning moments together at Stamford Bridge. A very sensible decision by the Chelsea board, and one that I am sure the fan base will appreciate. Just for the match-going fans, I mean, Ahmed, you're a match-going fan. I'm sure you're happy that this is something that they decided, considering how bad this...
Bro, Arsenal and Tottenham's ticket pricing, bro, is like compared to ours, is ridiculous, man. I'll be real, man. Like
ridiculous, like they're more expensive or
they're
cheaper?
more expensive. Yeah, they're more expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that the Tottenham one recently is very bad. Like obviously they got a new stadium and everything, which kind of makes sense, but like their pricing is still like ridiculous. Like even like Westview, like if, I had a Westview ticket last season, and it only cost me like 90 quid. It wasn't too, and it was actually worth it, man. The seats were nice and everything, but obviously that would have increased to 240, but it was £90 like the season before. So you know, at the end of the day, it's a good viewing seat if you like that sort of stuff. And hopefully, if we get better and we get a new stadium, it's probably going to increase. So, hey ho.
Well, I mean, as it should too, because of the cost of the renovations, and it probably will be nicer. I don't know. I mean, they have to pay for it somehow. But it's good to see that they're doing this as a result of just a horrible season. I mean, I think they took a big blow after the Champions League elimination. I think a lot of people, put their tickets up for resale and the ticket exchange and all that. So, hey, that was a wake-up call to them.
But the reality is, at the end of the day, man, Chelsea tickets will always be sold out. Like you even see it now. It's not on Forest. People are still going. So
even with the renovations, I expect tickets to be sold out as well. So yeah,
no, we're going to be there for the renovations if you remember. So it'll probably be that wherever we go to, it'll probably be sold out as well.
Yeah, but all right, on to the next bit of news that I want to talk about, ladies and gents. Is Winter Surfer. The truth about Auba. Let's talk about Obama. I know what you're doing, Andrew. I know what you're doing, bro. Yeah. Sources at Chelsea speaking to the Athletic on the proviso of being granted anonymity to protect relationships suggest Graham Potter never explained to Aubameyang's omissions to him or why he was being left out of the side on a regular basis. This is coming from the Athletic. We have another report here as well. Aside from sporting reasons, there has always been a financial incentive for Chelsea to leave Aubameyang out, given he has a high bonus appearance fee written into his contract. The club have little to gain from selecting a man who will not be with them next season. And then one more tweet just to finish this off. Atletico Madrid are interested in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Marco Corella. Both players are facing uncertain futures. Well, it would have been nice to have known that a lot earlier in the season when all the fans are asking, why the fuck isn't he playing? Why isn't he in the Champions League side? Scott, talk to me, man.
No, I can't lie. It still makes no sense. But, like, also...
Makes more sense, though.
It does, but like the amount of questions I have because of like, if if you hang on, if you weren't going to play him because he has a high appearance fee in his contract, why did you include the high appearance fee in his contract to begin with?
Well, I think it might
You
be
knew
down
he
to
wasn't because sorry, Andy, you knew he wasn't going to be here longer than probably a year or two anyway, even if Tuchel had stayed. It's like, oh, just the planning, Jesus Christ.
Can you ask the real question here, guys? Can you ask the real question here, man? The real question is, what happened to his hair, bro? He's looking clean there. Now, I don't know what's going on with his hair, man. What's going on?
You're in dodgy territory then.
I was going to say, you're looking at Alex in here right now.
I was asking the real question.
You're gonna summon him right now with the way you're talking. Jesus.
You would kill for that hairline, bro.
Hey, listen, man. My hair is nice, man. You know what I mean? Listen, don't even bring up my
Your
hair.
hat, you mean?
Don't even bring up my hair, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I mean, listen, when you're not playing consistently, why would you, unless you're Ziyech, why would you really take care of your appearance? I guess this man's out there disgruntled because he's not playing and not even being told why, really. And now he comes to find out from another source, potentially. I don't think Chelsea told him, but if another source is now telling him, oh, because I had a high appearance fee, which again, like Scott said, why is that even in there? And it goes to show that there was a lot of ignorance going into the season when it came to the ownership, sadly. But it is what it is. It happens. They're learning from it, hopefully. And hopefully we don't make this mistake again. Andrew, did you want to add something to that, by the way?
I don't know if it plays into the part that the reason we bought him was, in fact, Tuchel. Mm-hmm. That's maybe why they then go, well, he was already in the Champions League squad, obviously, because he registered. So it's like now we only bought him for Tuchel, really. We didn't want him here, and that's why maybe they got him out of the squad in the first place. I don't know. It's all a conspiracy theory, but, you know, it's weird either way. So.
A Chelsea conspiracy theory, you would say.
Yes, Chelsea conspiracy.
Well, he's not gonna be here next season, so we don't really care, man. At the end of the day, man, it is what it is.
Yeah, bye-bye. I mean, it is what it is. It didn't work out, and so we move.
Simple as that.
We move. All right, on to the next topic. Broja potentially returning. We have some news of Broja's current injury status and what's going on with his return. Armando Broja is targeting a return to action for Chelsea during their preseason tour this summer. He is expected to be available for friendlies in the United States, which, hey, that's good. That's good. I mean, personally, I am excited for this. This is one of the young talents that I'm excited to see. I'm going to be excited to see him because I'm going to be going to the Brighton game, I believe, in Philadelphia, and the Fulham game in Maryland. I'm planning that, and I'm going to be able to see the boys for the first time in my life. It's going to be exciting. And also, yeah, I would love to see Broja. I think he's got potential, but it depends on how he returns. He had ruptured ligaments, I believe, is the injury that it says on Transfermarkt. Yeah, which is... That's a rough one. That's kind of, if it's Achilles, that's what killed Cho, right?
No, it wasn't. He had a knee injury. It wasn't.
Sorry, I didn't mean Achilles. Did I say Achilles? Sorry, I meant ACL. That's what I meant.
Yeah, he had ACL. And something that I will say about ACL right now is that like you're seeing like how fast these guys are now recovering from like ACLs in the sense that, you know, the medically, like we've advanced.
We come a long way medically, yeah.
Because like usually if someone had like an ACL injury, bro, 1 year, bro. He's out for 1 year, and that's before he's done any, like, you know, going on the pitch and doing anything at all, like to.
Sometimes it's career
ending, yeah.
True.
So it's good to see, man. I hope, because like my ideal hopefully would be that he's like a backup striker for us next season, you know, and you get the main guy that you want as the number one.
Even if he's not a backup striker, I'm kind of hoping that he's willing to take another loan and can be reasonable about that, considering that, listen, man, you missed a majority of the season. I think he was only here for the first quarter of it, I want to say, give or take.
He got injured in December in that friendly against Villa.
Yeah, in between the World Cup, if you guys remember.
Okay, so he was kind of here for half of the season, you would say, right? Like about almost half of the season?
Yeah,
I think just under.
Yeah, just under half of the season, and he missed another half season. You know, it's kind of a bit of time since the last time he played. Get your form up. Like, again, the preseason is going to show us where he's at. But if he, he's off the pace because he needs to get used to his knee, kind of like how we saw Chilwell in the beginning of the season, not so much now in the tail end. Also, he's hurt, but maybe he needs some time to adjust. Maybe in the preseason he can adjust, or maybe going out on a loan, and hopefully he can be reasonable at it. Because I remember in the summer when he was offered to go, he was willing to walk away from Chelsea. I don't want that.
I don't think they're gonna send him out on loan. Because you just come back from an injury. I don't think any club would be taking someone who's just come off an ACL injury to their club, to be a main striker. He's probably gonna be like a. We
did it with Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, but listen,
that
that didn't go great either. So
we managed to sanction it. That's the point.
Yeah, I just think for me, from like a school of thought that I would want, if I think Broja is a future striker for Chelsea, you keep him as a number two. You let him rehab with the club, give him the minutes that you need. Hopefully he's under Poch, someone that has helped you, help Kane.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think that's the right idea at the very least, and you have a main striker anyway.
I just don't see his minutes being sufficient without European football. We're only playing once a week, so
that's another good point.
It's going to be difficult for him, I think,
especially with the bloated squad and the players are going to get in. And
but I think for me the worry is if he goes to another club on loan, how do you know that club's going to be able to take care of him and he's going through the right rehabilitation phase as well? We can't guarantee that either. And also, you might not even be starting at the other club as well.
That surely should be discussed when you send it to a club. You're not literally. We just pick a random club. You actually have the discussion to go. So this is the state of what it is. This is what we need. What can you offer us in terms of this? Because there's no point when you send someone out on loan. You want them to play initially. So if you're going to send him out on loan, you're going to be choosing the right place where he can get whatever he needs, but he can concentrate on himself.
Bless you.
You're going to get games here and there. It's going to be staggered and stuff like that because you're right. He's probably not going to get a lot of game time with us, even if he comes back from injury, given the fact we've got probably Lukaku potentially staying, another striker coming in, stuff like that. So I'm sure those will be discussed.
And
Keyshawn brings up a good point. It is very possible that Fofana goes out on loan as well. That's also a very big possibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this is dependent on the Lukaku situation, in my opinion. If the
no, it's not. I think Fofana goes out.
He's a non-factor, and I don't understand why people think it's so. Like, no, but I'm just confused why people think it's such a difficult concept to understand that he's not in our plans and he's not playing again. And everyone keeps going, but he's still our asset. He still plays for the club. So does Bakayoko. Have you ever seen him play for the football club since that disastrous season? Like, he played a couple of times under, was it in friendlies or whatever, and then was pushed to the wayside. Have you ever seen, who else have we got?
Dujan Sterling.
Dujan Sterling. Do you see all these guys who made appearances, didn't work? Danny Drinkwater.
You guys are great.
Is owned by the
I love
club.
this panel because it just makes my job so easy sometimes. All right, let's start off with.
Dijon Sterling uses it.
I will get. I forgot to put the Dijon Sterling thing in there, but I will put it. Don't worry, I got you. Let's start off with Lukaku. Okay, we'll start off with this one. Let me pull it up right now. All right, Lukaku news. There is already regret at Chelsea over the way Romelu Lukaku's season-long loan to Inter Milan, with its relatively paltry 6.9 million loan fee, was handled last year. I'm not entirely sure what they mean by this. Like, was there regrets as in they should have sold him? They didn't want to loan him, or they didn't get enough of a fee?
Get a higher loan fee because it's saying the loan fee is paltry, so that would mean that if you are loaning him, you'd probably want more than the 6.9 million that's stated there.
Probably, yeah. I could probably see that.
I thought the offset.
He took a wage cut.
I thought the offset of that was that he took a wage cut, and they're paying 100% of his wages.
Yeah, I mean
that's the offset of it, so that's why it's so low. It's because they're paying 100% of this year's wages. We're not paying anything for that whatsoever. So you have to offset that in terms of okay, we'll negotiate better, but you knew Inter Milan's financial issues. They weren't going to do a big. They weren't going to give you £15 million loan fee or whatever you were looking for or 20 mil, whatever you're looking for, because they're financial. The reason they sold Lukaku to us is because we're in a financial ruin. What you should have done is, because you haven't paid for Lukaku, you haven't paid fully for Lukaku. Yeah, is somehow work off what you owe them, work off a bit. So it's like actually it's like free, or do you know what I mean? It works out free, but you agree whatever deal. So that's what you should have done. Is you should have gone, okay, we still owe you this. You want to loan him for a year, then you take a year off or whatever we owe you or something like that. That's what they should have negotiated. But sorry, moving.
And to be fair, like we were in such a rush to get rid of him. That was like taking up what 2-3 weeks of the transfer window, just trying to get rid of this guy from the club. Like that was like Bowley's first thing in charge was getting rid of. Well, one of the
all
first
efforts were going into that, and then we started actually looking at buying players. It was first getting Lukaku out.
Yeah, we were like 3 weeks late to the transfer window because of this whole situation. The other thing I wanted to bring up about Romelu Lukaku real quick, Scott, before you go. Here we got Fabrizio Romano saying, Chelsea plan to sign a new striker in the summer in any case, no matter what happens with Lukaku. Decision has been discussed with Pochettino. Talks will follow on best number 9 option. Plans on Lukaku will be made in June. No talks took place with Romelu's side or Inter yet. And I think in another tweet I saw, I don't think I have it in the show, is that apparently Pochettino is going to discuss with Lukaku and Mason Mount about their futures.
Yeah.
So, Scott?
I was going to say, but like with Lukaku as well, it's like he doesn't want to be here. The club don't want him here. So regardless of whether he actually stays at the club in terms of like, if he can't be loaned out, which I don't believe, like he'll be loaned or sold, I guarantee it. Doesn't mean he's going to play because the club don't want him here. Like he doesn't want to be here, and we've already seen when the club don't want a guy here, they'll just consign him to home, playing Fortnite or whatever it is Aubameyang's doing these days.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I feel like I'm more likely to believe that Lukaku will leave. But there's also a part of me that thinks like, what if it was Tuchel? What if the reason for, and I'm not saying like I'm not siding with Lukaku on this. What if the reason for Romelu's upset is that apparently Tuchel changed the module on him and all that?
No, that's what's reported. That's what's reported in the summer because they had a meeting with Lukaku, right? So it was like. They apparently Bowley had or whoever had a meeting with Lukaku to discuss this. But yeah, I do believe he fed up with Tuchel. I think it was obvious he fed up with Tuchel because the way he's being played,
true.
Stuff like that. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that. I think going on with Poch and he wants to speak Lukaku and Mount, it's the same thing for me. If both guys don't want to stay, in terms of Lukaku, he doesn't want to stay, fine, and the club that's fine. You can want to keep Mount. You can want to keep Mount all you want, but if he doesn't agree to a contract, then you can't keep him, no matter how much you want to. So that has to be in his Poch's mind as well. So you may want to keep him, but they may not want to be here, or you can't agree the deals for them. So
exactly, sayonara, senor.
Exactly. The business as well, you know.
So I'm gonna. So I think of Lukaku, or sorry, I should say he's right. Sorry, I said his name on Lukaku. He's not gonna be at the club anymore, man. Let him go, man. Let that brother go, man. You know what I mean? We don't need him, man. You know what I'm saying? We can get better guys than him. If you've watched this guy in Serie A this season, man, some of the stuff I've seen from him is actually peak comedy. It's peak comedy, man. We don't need. Let's get a better striker.
And what you're seeing at the bridge at the moment isn't peak comedy.
Bro, listen, Sapa, bro. It's peak comedy plus peak comedy. It can only get worse, bro. You know what I'm saying? How much further do you want the comedy to go?
Actually, it's not comedy. It's more horror film.
Hey, man, listen.
It's Chelsea season in a nutshell.
Listen, we don't need another ghost, man. We don't need another ghost. We don't need another monster in the horrorverse right now, okay? Okay. But listen, man, try to get as much as you want for him. If you can do what you need
if we could
to
sell him, that'd be ideal.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man, with Lukaku. I just saw like a comment from All Sports fan Tom about Lukaku. It's the one
right here?
Like, shout out Guiri. Guiri is a good player. I still think he needs another season in Ligue 1. I watch him because he plays for Stade de Reims. That's my French team. He's a good player, but he still needs needs another season there.
I haven't seen him, so I'm not going to comment.
Yeah, so
big up Adam.
Yeah, so I think he needs another season, in my opinion. But that's just my thoughts. So at the end of the day, try to get a better striker than I'm hearing Lautaro Martinez. I'm probably going to discuss him
because we
later.
got an Argentinian boss.
Yeah.
Listen, I just heard the link. I'm just saying a link, and listen, if you're bringing Lautaro Martinez, I prefer not to speak on that one. You know what I'm saying? That's another Lukaku. This is the Argentinian Lukaku. I'm saying that, so that's what I'm saying.
All right, but the other thing,
players out of 4 and one top 4 Cobham person, yeah.
Right. One thing that you guys brought up earlier as well that I want to bring up as well for the show is Dujan Sterling now leaving. And mind you, where I stand with Dujan Sterling, I thought he was a good player.
Dujan, my guy.
Dujan.
It's Dujan. Dujan's a type of mustard, bro.
Yeah. I thought it was Dujan. I'll edit this later. Dujan Sterling? Oh,
it's even in the oh my god! It's even in the article you just brought up.
You know what? I'll give this to myself. I'll take a L. Take a L. All right, so let me read this little excerpt from The Athletic. Dujan Sterling has an agreement in principle with Rangers to leave Chelsea on a free transfer this summer. The 23-year-old Chelsea at under 8 level. Wait, what? At under 8 level before moving through the academy ranks at Stamford Bridge. He made his senior debut in 2017. Yada yada yada. Okay, pretty much he's leaving for Rangers. That's the gist of this article. When I saw him under Tuchel, I saw potential, but I haven't really heard much from him. And I know people are getting all upset. I have, some people in the Discord, some people in Twitter are like, "Oh, that's another one that's going to go off and have a great career at another club." He had how long to break through at Chelsea, and he didn't. So
can we just do this, right? Salah doesn't count. He wasn't through our academy, okay? So, and that was De Bruyne, okay? They weren't through our academy, okay? De Bruyne is the biggest mistake. Salah, we didn't know. And for anyone who says they would know, I guarantee you the summer Liverpool signed him for 37 million, you were going, what? The Chelsea reject? He's rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Like that. So, this whole thing, even De Bruyne, we didn't know. Okay, so you sell De Bruyne, then you would give back, you would give back the trophies that we won after De Bruyne left? Would every Chelsea fan do that? I don't think you would you? Stuff like that. We won 2 leagues out of 3 on the other European Cup. He's a sensational player. But we got a sensational player in for him in Fabregas. So it's people have got to stop revisionist history of this. Every single player we sell somehow goes on to have a fantastic career. It's hardly any of them have a fantastic career at all. If you look at it, the ratio is very much in the favour of them, unfortunately for them, not having a good career or a winning one. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's going, oh, Mark Gahey's good. You didn't want Mark Gahey in the team, man. You were pleased when we sold him for 20 million and he never played for us. You know what I mean? People are only now good going about Colwell because he's playing and he's still under contract with us. And that's a different thing.
Look at this part right here. His contract with the West London side expires this summer, and although Chelsea had an option to extend, they didn't take it.
Yeah, because they don't see...
I just point something out as well, by the way, to people. They understand with this as well. Dujan Sterling's gone to Rangers to be the backup.
Gosh.
Yeah, to Tavernier.
Yeah. To Tavernier, yeah. And he ain't starting at left back. So he's gone there to be the backup. So, it's cool and all, but I don't really care.
No, it's not. Yeah. It's like, okay.
Where does he fit?
You have a great career. You have a great career.
So where does he fit? We got James and Gusto. Do you want a third right back in the squad when we're playing once a week?
Are we saying that region is that injury prone that we need a third guy to come in whenever Malo Gusto has to play heavy minutes? Is that what we're trying to say? Maybe, you never know.
Yeah, so it's it's just this goes into the next topic I want to discuss. I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. New owner strategy. So let's discuss what Chelsea are up to and what they're going to be how they're going to be approaching the transfer window and the club going forward as well. So let's pull up this first tweet that I got for you guys. So, this guy, his name is Chris Jurassic. Todd Bowley and the Chelsea board are in final talks. God damn it. All right. So Todd Bowley and the Chelsea board are in final talks with Chris Jurassic, who is an operating executive for Clear Lake Capital. Jurassic will be handed responsibility for Chelsea's commercial arm. Good. I think there should be someone for all that department. I think the commercial arm is probably going to be responsible for sponsorships, probably.
Yeah.
And advertising.
I
So
thought Bola was the job that.
No.
I thought he's supposed to be the
I think he's trying to hand it
financial.
off. Mhm.
What happened?
Which is good.
Too much pressure.
Maybe.
I mean, he's just
Maybe.
the owner. Maybe he doesn't want to do all of this all the time. Maybe he needs, to be right-hand man.
Yeah,
No.
he's got 3 other
I'm
teams.
talking about
you know?
no. I'm talking about financial part of the Chelsea. I thought he's the one that was gonna deal with the sponsorship of all that because he's apparently that good at it. He's
but
going
maybe-
and talking on the forums.
Oh, okay, I get what you mean, but it doesn't
Maybe.
necessarily mean that he has to always get involved. You can always have another guy tell him he's got this guy obviously that he's bringing in.
I
Yes.
don't
He can do the
need
job
your
for him.
1, 2, 3 explanation. I get that point that he hired somebody, Ahmed.
No, but he
I
doesn't.
get it.
My point is that he doesn't need to do it though. Also, I understand
Yeah,
that
but-
he's a guru. Just because you're a guru doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be.
I
in
think
there
it's
all the time
also-
talking.
In
It's
some
like
senses,
asking-
Alex, though, I think it's
Yeah.
also because he's a multi-business. He has multiple businesses. Maybe it's one of those things that he just doesn't have time to do it himself. At the end of the day, Todd Bowley's good at making money. That's his best asset.
Nah, the guy that's
Wow.
halfway into the dev door is better with money, and the other one because
Oh
they're
my
richer than
God.
they're richer than him.
Maybe.
This
Just
guy's
there for
going-
the ride.
He's talking about
The
waste
next-
money for everyone today.
The next tweet I'm going to share here. This is the plan, pretty much. Or this is actually I think some Chelsea fans, some Chelsea fans can be a little more forgiving now with Todd Bowley because this just came out here from Draper Rob at Mail Sport. Chelsea's owners are said to be reflective on mistakes made. It's accepted that it might have been better to retain Tuchel for a season, even though it would never work long term. Bowley never wanted to be sporting director, but had failed to approach Michael Edwards. That's probably in part to do with the amount of time it took to get rid of Lukaku in the beginning, the whole transition. It's just a hectic beginning of the season for these guys, the owners. And the third point being is that there was a feeling that they overcompensated in appointing Graham Potter because he was so adept at working the executives and owners.
Ooh,
Does that
a
mean
yes
like
man?
does that mean Graham Potter had Riz or like he just like seduced these guys and just persuaded
No,
them? Like
this is true definition of a yes man.
right, yeah, apparently so.
Yo,
yeah, like, this is good
Mineral
for them.
somewhere was right.
Fucking minerals, bruv.
The next tweet I want to show you guys is the following. Mauricio Pochettino told Chelsea in the conversations that young talents have to play and they can't be stuck on the bench. For example, what happened to Carney Chukwuemeka cannot happen again. So get ready for some loan deals, okay? And that being said, under Chelsea's new strategy, led by sporting directors Paul Winstanley and Lauren Stewart, only players viewed as genuine first-team prospects will be sent out on overseas loans. If Chelsea feels a player is not benefiting from the program or is not in the plans of the manager, the club will look to sell them on. Hence, Dujan Sterling. Sorry, Jesus. To sell players, you have to receive the right proposals. It's easy to say Chelsea will sell 17, 20 players. After what happened last summer with many players, for example, Lukaku, they don't want to accept loan deals. So at some point, some clubs have to arrive and pay in real money for permanent moves. This is coming from Fabrizio. That being said, this feels oddly a lot like Roman's previous strategy for youth. Alex, what do you have to say about that one, man? Or Scott, whoever.
I'd say that wasn't the same strategy for Roman. Like
Really
Roman,
similar though.
it's not similar, like
Okay.
at all, because the youth was just seen as the like you loan them out, and then that like they were used for the money. Like
Yep.
Okay.
it's not in any way the same. It's for now. It's viewed as long as you're good enough, and or the club view you as good enough, you'll be given the chance to show that. The youth weren't even given a chance under Roman up until the transfer ban.
That's not
the same.
even saying that either, Scott. Don't lie on people, because that said, if he's good enough for the youth, he's gonna be willing to let him loan overseas. So
I think
it doesn't say nothing about the first team playing. He's just gonna give opportunity to play overseas.
I think for me,
No. Marshall literally said those
Yeah.
enough they deem good enough for first team
yeah.
will be loaned overseas. That's what he said. It's in
Yeah,
there.
loaned overseas. Yeah.
No.
We're talking about Abramovich, though.
No. Good enough. No. Read it again, Marshall, please.
Yeah, hold on. I'll pull it up again. 1
Read
second.
it again.
You should just had it there.
I'm a bit lost right now.
Well, that's hardly new, Chris. You hardly listen. So
That's true.
No, because you
Chris,
guys are all confusing each other, and that's why I'm a bit lost.
When we speak to you directly, the first answer you usually give is what? You know what I mean?
No, because like you guys.
First of all, he cannot
confusing each
reach the table with his height.
That's true.
Oh my god.
Keeps banging his head against it. That's the problem.
Okay.
Go on, read it
Only
again.
players viewed as genuine first team prospects will be sent out on overseas loans.
Okay. So
Okay.
there's a potential to get into the first team.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's a high.
Can I say something now about that?
What we were thought, yeah.
Go for it, Alex.
Yeah. Okay. This is so freaking laughable that even compared to what is actually it is, and not for Roman with loan army and stuff like that. Did the law changed?
It did.
About the loan, it did.
did,
So
yeah.
you cannot already compare what it was to what it is, because there's the different law.
Yeah, true.
What he's doing it is what the new law requires him, because they can afford to send on loan more people. That's all it is. Because they can't. It doesn't show me that he would. Oh, I can say that whatever it is, but in the real time, they can't, because there's only 5 players can go. Is that right?
I think that only applies to 21 and over.
I was going to say it only applies to certain
Isn't that
ages.
within the league?
Okay.
It's 2 player. I don't even know what the fuck it is actually like within the
But
league.
do you
but it's
understand what
5
I'm
players.
saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a limit amount of players you can go and
Sure.
loan out.
You can't
So
do it like you used to.
all this talk that, we're just gonna consider what genuine, but no, you don't, because last year you could send 45 people on loan. This year you can't. So of course you're gonna have to sell players. So all this, this is literally different wording on the new law with the flowers. Like, we come up with this. You didn't come up with this. The law came up with this. You have to change the law. You have to you have to play by the new rules. That's number one. Number two, I don't care how you are worded with loans and everything. He's supposed to give us a better financial thing to Chelsea, right?
Sure.
Because apparently we're not good enough in the marketing department. That's what I heard from the new. All of a sudden, the genius of marketing, not even marketing genius anymore, he has to hire the different genius marketing person. That's number two. All of a sudden, I want to see how we're going to create and generate the money if we don't have a loan army. Scott was right. We are doing loan army because, first of all, it was legal then, and that's how we made the money. Then, how much of what's the name of the the Chelsea youth? What's considered
Academy?
What's the name? Chelsea Academy. What was the rank Chelsea Academy in the world of ranking team rankings was?
Anyone know that?
It's quite high up, like
Yeah.
top
Was
three.
high.
So
wasn't
after
it? Yeah.
this, if all this have to change, because I think it's only Juventus was higher than us on loaning the players. They had over 45 players loaning in the season.
I would say that the Italian clubs are nuts when it comes to loaning. Atalanta one
So,
season.
you see
had
what
about
I'm saying?
50 players
So it's
loaned
not
out.
like it's Abramovich did something. No, he learned from somebody. He didn't come up with shit. He just uses what other people did. So
can
what
I-
happens you see what I'm
once
saying?
Alex is done, I'll go ahead.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you gotta adapt, and this is all it is.
True.
No matter how many flowers you're gonna put around it, like, we just going to do it because the last regime is not that. No, you don't. freaking hate
Ahmed,
those
what are
kind
you
of
saying, bro?
rings.
So I want to come because I'm not understanding. Like I understand the learning point he's making and that stuff, but I want to come to the marketing point. You know, like Bowen should not be doing every single year the marketing and everything, right? It shouldn't
Sure.
be him, right? So maybe he's starting it off now, and then we're seeing this guy's come in now. He's the guy that's going to continue to do it onwards after him. He doesn't necessarily.
So you're
have to
saying
be
lay the
one-
foundation, pretty much.
Exactly, yeah. One can lay the foundation and then do the stuff
Ahmed, that's not
afterwards.
what I was saying. I was saying to the report earlier, when he said the previous regime did not have a good financial and did not, how you say,
But
did
yeah,
not,
yeah.
did
Okay.
not use all the ability of Chelsea in the marketing strategy.
I agree though. That is true though.
No. Yeah, it is. Excuse me. It is the fact. You're right. The problem is, this is another thing that what the Todd Bowley does. Like, he says stuff before he do it.
Oh, okay. I get.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Do
Okay,
it
then that's
first.
fair. Yeah. Okay.
Show us then, and then you can talk about it. Don't do
So,
it now like he was
think
saying
that's
like,
fair.
oh, we won it like with the Potter. Like previous
basically,
regime did not
what you're saying, Alex-
have the, how you say it, whatever that word is English people like,
Show
especially
not
Scott.
tell. Show not tell. Yeah, that's what you want basically. Show not tell.
No,
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's the word? The Scott.
Walk
that
the
you like?
walk.
Suffering.
No, that's number 2 word. But number 1 word is like a strategy,
Minerals.
like the strategy or whatever that is.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not
Yeah.
like
Tactic.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the, yeah, come on, Scott. You should
You know
have
what
told
I'm
us that.
saying? Like
Yeah, we
the
get it.
long term thing. Like
Plan,
you
yeah.
show us that first, and then we can talk about it. Don't diss
Fair
the
enough.
older owners and do shit like you did now. Show
Yeah,
us
we need to see
first.
the
Continue.
vision.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's continuing on with the strategy that they have in place here. It's no secret that Chelsea are searching for a long-term midfield partner for Enzo. We should not rule out Declan Rice, while the likes of Youssef Fofana, Edson Alvarez, Romeo Lavia, Manu Kone, and Moises Caicedo have all been mentioned behind the scenes. And one more tweet here as well. Chelsea's priorities will be defensive midfielder and striker. Lavia has always been on the list. Keep an eye out for Moises Caicedo, as Chelsea know him. McAllister to Liverpool is not done yet either. Also, Manu Kone is attracting a lot of interest from clubs. Chelsea will be smart on this position and spend the right amount of money. And I'm happy to hear that these players keep being brought up, because these are good, highly touted DMs out there, and highly touted. Well, we didn't really talk about the striker before, but we do need someone for Enzo.
He's
He
not a
can't
DM,
just-
by the way. Kone's not a DM.
We
He's
need
not a
someone
DM.
to be like an anchor, like sit behind, and Enzo can actually bomb forward for once and actually create or score. But the Fofana guy,
This
I don't
player
know.
was brought up too, by the way.
Yeah, like
Ugarte.
Fofana looks quite big, but I don't know how good he plays. But I'm not sure how expensive he is either. I'm not even sure what club he plays. I just seen him before.
Monaco.
Monaco,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays for Monaco. He was in the World Cup squad, by the way. He was in the World
Yeah.
Cup squad for CNs. But in general, I think for me, Caicedo, if you can get him, you should try to get him. My opinion.
I
Didn't they
agree.
re-sign the contract?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you sign a contract. Just
It's
because
gonna cost them more than 100 million probably. Then
we don't
Not
know that yet.
necessarily.
they
Yeah.
tried charging us 90 before the contract.
Bro,
No, they
listen. Yeah, but this is
they did.
no, they didn't.
It was 80, and
It was
this
80,
is
yeah.
the same club that have a history of demanding a certain amount for a player and then
Right.
selling them for a slightly
We
lower
did go
amount.
to them with 3 days after the transfer window.
I was going to say,
in January.
Okay,
It
yeah,
was
the
in-
context
it
of that, I agree, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They gave him a big contract. Like it's
They
probably
didn't
gonna
give him
cost
a big
90 to
contract, big
100.
man. He went from 5k to 30k.
No,
It's
I
not
thought he
that
went to
big.
like 100k.
What? No.
Nope.
What are you talking about? They
Guys,
don't give him
you,
100K contracts.
you remember who you're talking to, right? He has
Okay,
no
okay.
self-awareness.
God damn.
No,
He doesn't know
but
who's talking.
okay. Going
Like
back
I
to
pay attention how much he's
Yeah.
on pay too much.
yeah.
But I
So
thought
going
so.
back to what I was saying.
Sure.
Again, Caicedo is a good buy to get. Lavia, obviously, he's going to be now cheap. Everyone's probably going to be chasing him. If you can get a good enough package to get Lavia, I would get him too. I've already said that Kone is only throw out 30 million euros. If Kovacic officially leaves the club, you snap up Kone as fast as possible. In my opinion, for him.
I mean, since we're on the topic of Caicedo, I might as well bring this up. Let's go ahead and talk about our boy here, Caicedo. Here. All right, tweets that I found here. Moises Caicedo agents, Manuel Serra. He can slot into any team as he's ready for it all. His dream is to play in the Champions League and to reach as far as he can in football. His idol, N'Golo Kante. Listen, that may mean nothing, but it could mean something. It's not nothing. It's something. Oh, shit. Over here. Boom. Oh, you fucking kidding me. One
He's
second.
on 60,000 a week reported actually, so it's kind of close to Armand. No, wow.
Moises Caicedo is one to watch for Chelsea in the summer. Let's see on Pochettino. Many clubs in England are interested in Manuel Ugarte. His agent is Jorge Mendes. So,
Is Manuel Ugarte, is that the one from Sporting's 22 years
It
old?
is indeed.
Yes.
The kid is good. I watched the highlights. I like the nastiness of it, but I still want Caicedo first.
Plus, you could get both because I've seen Caicedo at right back. You can put him there, man. It's all good, you know what I mean?
Oh, you think the cookie jar guy might be sold?
No, I'm just saying. We don't know if he's
Cookie
going to be fit enough. That's what, you know what I mean. Need cover
I
at right
will
back.
look. I'm telling you, you can clip it, you can snip it, you can whatever.
Oh, wow. Bloody
Next
hell.
season, if this Chuck E. Cheese guy missing about 6 games in a row because he cannot stay away from cookie jar, needs to be sold. I love James, but no.
it's a hot take, but I see where he's coming
It's
from.
not a hot take. It's
It's not a
normal
hot take. It's not a hot take at all.
Real
He needs to-
Madrid.
Anyone saying that Reece James should be sold in any form sentence is probably a hot take in most Chelsea communities.
Yeah, but
Listen, you're talking to me. I'm reasonable. I understand where you're coming from, Alex, but you say that in Twitter, I don't know, man. You know it's gonna happen.
Listen, I've said this before with Reece James, just quickly. If he does need the surgery, give him the surgery, and then obviously get a fitness coach and actually, get to an ideal weight, get to an ideal food plan. We saw what Conte did with Lukaku, even though I don't like Lukaku, but what Conte did with him was, get him a right body food regimen, right body measurement, and then that it works for him. Same thing needs to be done with Reece James. Simple as that, really.
By the way, the reports coming out of James's latest injury said that he doesn't need surgery.
Yeah.
He keeps, bro. They keep on saying that stuff, bro. For me, man, if you keep on getting the same injury, how many times can we say it doesn't need surgery? How many times can we say that?
Hey, don't shoot the messenger, right?
No. I know.
where's
I know
the
what you're saying,
injury?
Oliver.
Again?
sometimes is the actual doctor saying, "I'm not gonna listen to you with your white cap and like he has a doctor."
Listen, I know.
You're a
about sports
civil
science.
engineer. You should not be sticking your nose where it doesn't belong.
Listen, I have 18 biology.
Concentrate on
Don't worry
fixing
about
the
that, man.
road, man.
Listen, I have
Ahmed,
18
Ahmed,
biology.
where's the injuries he keeps getting? I've actually, I don't know.
Hamstring.
Hamstring.
Yes.
Hamstring one, yeah. But I mean, at the same time, though, isn't hamstring a very common injury in football?
Yes,
It can happen a lot. Yes.
But
No,
sometimes,
not at this
reoccurring.
frequency though.
not at the
It
frequency
is.
happen.
it is.
No,
You know
not
why?
I don't
If you
know if
top
it's-
heavy.
Right. Yeah, I don't
No,
know if
no,
this is. Go
It
on.
is a common injury, but not at this frequency for an individual player.
I think maybe I'm not sure if I'm right though. Like the weight, like obviously he's gone up.
The weight.
10. He's gone up 10 kg, so he obviously runs up and down. I don't know if it strains it a lot more, but I'm not too sure. Alex might know more because he's obviously,
Yeah,
so.
it's because of cookie jar, man.
So I was on to something then maybe.
It's like taking off with
Yeah, that's-
with the metal plate vest. There's a reason why they're doing it. When you see the training in the training ground with the guy with resistant band,
Yeah.
do you see the guys with resistant band? And they look, I'm gonna turn my camera so I can tell you. Show you. You see the guys in the back holding him, and
Yeah,
then they
yeah.
take. Why do you think they're doing it?
Make him lose weight, make him work harder. I'm guessing.
No, they make that freaking heavy part of the body to take off, so the hamstring will get used to it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so- it's like weight. It's like regular weight.
I
Let's
think he should
bring
go.
up.
When under Tuchel, he's on 81 kg. Like he's 10 less under Tuchel. He should go back.
If
to
he's
that,
not
'cause-
gonna look after himself. He's gonna look like Lukaku.
Yeah, he's actually close to his weight, so. And he's shorter. He's shorter
And
as well.
look
So
at his legs. Look at his. That's
They
the
are big
problem.
Yeah, his legs are massive. Pause.
The next topic I'm gonna bring up here for you guys to discuss is Kovacic. Pretty much confirmed he's leaving. It's not Fabrizio confirmed, but it's inevitable at this. Actually, kind of is Fabrizio confirmed. Mateo Kovacic is exploring his options. Another tweet we have here that pretty much solidifies this is going to pretty much happen. Jacob Steinberg reporting, Chelsea have accepted that they are likely to lose Mateo Kovacic this summer amid interest in the midfielder from Bayern, Manchester City, and United as well. And then we've done it in earlier shows. We discussed this, that it doesn't look like Chelsea are looking to renegotiate contracts. They haven't made any moves to it. The season's ending very soon. It's looking like he's leaving. And I mean, we saw yesterday he was forced to play on an injury. I don't know if we still want to say if he was like that previously in games. Maybe he was like that throughout Arsenal. Maybe it's an injury is the reason why he hasn't been consistent, or maybe it is the attitude. I don't know. I'm going to leave that to you guys. I mean, Oliver, what do you think about this one? I
mean, it's not even about the performances for me. Like, we can talk about them if you want, but at the end of the day, the club haven't offered him a contract, and they're trying to, they've clearly been trying to tie down other players that have a contract coming up in 2024. They've tried to tie down Mount, for example, that being the big one. They've offered him contracts. There's been no news about Kovacic even starting negotiations yet. So I just think this has been inevitable for a while. Regardless of what you can say about his performances, we just haven't started the process yet to extend him. So it's quite clear where this is headed.
Andrew, I feel like you have some opinions on Kovacic's recent performances. I think you thought he was out of it, and now that we know that he's kind of been injured, do you change your stance on that?
Two things.
Could be wrong. I could be misquoting you. By the way.
Two things with the injury. So I'm kind of wondering where his head is at. Is if I know every player wants to play and they'll go through the pain barrier and stuff like that, but I've got worry about how big that injury was, and then I'll go into Lampard about again playing another player who was injured, like he's done previously with us.
I don't think he's injured at all, Andrew.
I don't think. No. I was about to say that. Alex, he walked off normally yesterday. Did you see that down the tunnel? He walked off normally. He was crying.
Almost did this.
The tears stopped, and he walked down because he got an early afternoon off work. That's
so
what
you're saying he skipped.
He did keep in the tunnel.
Yes,
He did in school. He did in school. He used to make being ill.
swear I either saw him jump. I saw him jump up and fist bump someone. I swear when he done.
It's like somebody getting the second yellow or red card right before the Christmas period.
Exactly. Yeah. I've got Christmas off. I have to play Boxing Day. Yeah, that's what it is right there. Listen. Listen. If he's out of it, he's out of it. I'm of the opinion if you don't want to be here, then there's no point having you here, because if you're going to try and keep someone who doesn't want to be here, I don't think it helps.
Never works out.
Dressing room at all in certain point. If he goes, he goes. If you just to see how much we can get for him and who he goes to. I think if he goes
if
to
he wants to go, he can go.
Yeah, exactly. He can go. He can go all he wants. But yesterday I thought he pussied out. If I'm being honest with you, I thought he pussied out.
He speaks perfect German.
He does.
He never played in that league.
Perfect Italian as well.
I don't think he wants to stay. Can I just say, I don't think he wants to stay in England.
I don't think so either.
I think he's 5 years now in England, so he's done his.
He's ready for some schnitzel.
Yeah, he's done his tour of duty now. So.
Oh my God. This guy Alex, man. Oh,
yeah, go over there, get some.
What's wrong? He's ready for some sausages and schnitzels and stuff. His Croatian's neighbor.
Enjoy Oktoberfest, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just go over and enjoy it, man. Sign for Munich. Munich will pay about what? 30 million, do we think? 30 million for him?
Yeah, that's about the level of that's about the level of how much we're willing to pay for players in the first place.
Yeah.
I think if we get 30 million for a guy who's 29 in his final year of his contract, and we pay 40 million, Jesus Christ. I mean, and we paid 40 million
Bubble
for him,
boy.
And we paid 40 million for him 4 years ago. I think that's a good price.
I think we got our value out of Kovacic as well, when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And he's another one who gets sort of it's getting occurring injuries now and again. It's ironic, isn't it? Him and Kante injured at the same time, as nearly as it always is. But recently, yeah, if he wants to go, let him go. He's been a good servant for us. I've got no problem with him going whatsoever.
Yeah, me neither.
Just the way he went off yesterday and did a forward roll down the tunnel. That was
That was a stunt double.
Oh,
speaking of Kante, by the way, and before we go on, ladies and gentlemen, 75 of you watching, make sure you are smashing that like button, as it does help the YouTube algorithm get our channel out there. Also, hey, you don't walk into someone else's house and not wipe your feet, right? Wipe your feet at the door. Smash that like.
Depends if I'm robbing it. That's all.
Fair enough.
Why you wipe your feet?
Yeah, we're just
wipe your shoes.
Sorry.
Wipe your shoes,
feet.
wipe your feet. You never
Wipe
know.
your ass.
Anyways, here
First
we
of all,
go.
you don't walk with shoes in the house in the first place.
It depends if you're robbing
houses.
it.
Yeah, true.
Wow.
Frank Lampard confirms N'Golo Kante hurt his groin in training yesterday and is set to miss 2 weeks. That's unfortunate.
Do you know
it's
how
no
the groin
surprise.
injury actually? Do you know how groin injury actually occur?
Stretching for something you do, isn't it?
Probably.
No. During the game, do you know how to groin injury? You heard groin injury.
Is it
Probably
like,
like
it's
a-
mostly in the
I would
tackle,
imagine
isn't
a-
it?
Huh?
Is it when
No,
you're tackling mostly?
no. It's if you wanna understand how groin injury is occurring during the game.
Yeah.
I'm not joking, not trying to be funny. You can see me on a video. Put the hand between your balls and the thigh,
Yeah.
and when you move your foot, what movement of your foot you're doing it, and you feel the groin.
I got you.
Lovely.
I know you can be out for a good while. Actually.
How would he do
Yeah.
that in training?
Yeah, like I've not had one, but
It's you usually pull it from shooting or try to cross it when you
Oh, yeah,
overlap.
that's
Yeah,
right.
that makes sense,
You overextend the
Yeah.
hip movement.
No.
and onto
You're
the
not
thigh.
overextending. You're trying to wrap your hip around the ball. You're
Yeah.
shooting it.
Okay.
Like a curling motion sometimes.
Curling motion of
Yeah.
the hip.
Yeah.
That's how you heard it. And
Yeah, like you try and like I've seen it where someone like goes the other way and does that same movement.
yes,
And then your
from
body.
shooting.
your
I've
body's like
done
in a
it.
state of
It's a
shock.
painful situation, and it doesn't hurt when you're doing irregular things.
Yeah.
But the minute that you try to take a shot, it's like, oh wow, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
It's just
sucks.
something
'Cause
for
See?
Kante.
that happens
like,
when you
no,
put him
no,
in the
no.
right wing.
Where in
That's
Chelsea
that's what I was trying to say. That's like
Yeah, it happens when you
see
put him in
what
the
I'm
right
saying?
wing.
And it's
Yep.
ironic now we've got 69 viewers watching us. But the thing is this: where do you get that in Chelsea YouTube? You don't get football and medical chat at the same time.
Yeah, somebody tried to stick the civil engineering degree into
Exactly.
the.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Listen, if you want to
We got everything here on Casually FC, man.
Hey, man, if you want to stop the bridge to be built, man, come to me, man.
I
I'll
wish
deal.
you,
Yeah,
I wish you pull a,
yeah.
Ahmed, I wish you pull a groin, man. Get out. Of it.
Listen,
I'm joking.
Let's go
The only,
back to Brisbane, yeah? We'll
the
go
only
back to
groin he can pull if like the piece of chicken he cannot fit in the mouth at one time.
Oh my
And
days.
he's like, do you need help? No, yeah, cut like right here a little bit and right here so my mouth can be open wide.
No, yo, relax, man. No, but I haven't pulled my groin, luckily, man. I pulled my hamstring though. It's not nice. That is not
Yeah,
nice.
no, that's a shitty
that's
one to pull.
horrible.
Hamstring. Oh, it's horrible. But with the
Believe it or
N'Golo
not,
Kante
I
situation,
haven't pulled the hemi ever.
It's not
knock
nice.
on wood right now, man. Knock on wood right
Well,
now.
I've done the groin, I've done cuffs, I rolled my ankles, but never had a hamstring. I
Knock
hurt
on
my
wood, man.
back. But
For those who didn't know about the N'Golo Kante situation, that's why he wasn't in the squad yesterday. He got hurt. More on N'Golo Kante is comments here. Let's see where I will be, but I hope this is the direction of the club when referring about success of the club. And then Kante says for sure when asked when he would be part of the project. We're still, negotiating a contract with this guy, and I think people have doubts because of the injury, understandably so. We'll see. But Chelsea's decision to offer Mauricio Pochettino the permanent head coach job could help get N'Golo Kante's proposed contract renewal over the line. Sources have told Telegraph Sport that the Argentine and Kante share a mutual appreciation for one another. It's coming from Matt Law. Listen, I don't know how you guys feel about Kante now, considering he just got hurt again. I
Look,
still
yeah.
think there's value to have him
One thing that N'Golo
sign the
Kante
contract, depending what
has
the contract is. Go
is
ahead.
admiration from every manager on the planet Earth.
Sure.
You know why?
Mhm.
Doesn't complain, does everything to best to his ability, and never complains. How much more you want from the player as a manager?
Can't
That's
really
it.
ask more, can you?
You can't.
Just fitness.
Well, it's like, and the problem is, even if Angola knew that he will be hurt, I don't think he will still stop it. He will go and do his job no matter what.
Well, you know, in the
Love
final
that
Europa
kid.
League,
Love
Alex.
that
Yeah, we literally saw it then.
he-
Yeah.
he
When he
literally took in
retires, I
Texas or
probably
whatever.
will get his number on the jersey.
Yeah, I do actually need to get his actually on my back.
I didn't ask you shit, man.
Yeah, but like
What you did, man.
Jesus Christ. Why can't you guys be nice to each other?
me,
We love each other.
I'm just catching whatever he's throwing at me. That's what I'm getting.
Thank God he didn't say what, because I thought he was gonna say what. What'd you say?
The thing about I'm just thinking about this. When Kante was like, when he left the hospital and stuff like that, and after he got the operation and all clear and stuff like that, going to train, they should have asked him, "Who's your current manager at Chelsea right now?" It's Frank Lampard. What? Sorry, it's who? It's Frank Lampard. Here's a 6-month sick note. You can take the rest of the season off. This guy.
That's a good point.
This guy ran him into the ground again.
Preach.
He ran him into the ground again. Do you know what I mean? I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking a couple of games
like.
like why he's not subbing him like
I
20
bet you
minutes
True.
earlier.
But Alex, can I bet you? I bet you this training injury is bullshit. I bet you got it in the last game. I bet you.
Yeah.
He felt something in the last game
From the
and he
assist?
got it like that. It's this guy, Frank Lampard. I love as a player and hate as a manager. He runs people. He plays it. Played Kovacic yesterday. Knew you had an injury. I know some responsibility has to be on a player as well, but you're his manager. You don't play people, especially when we don't, especially in a nothing game. Really, do you know what I mean?
Andrew,
Especially in
I
a nothing
swear,
game.
I think I actually saw when Kante was subbed previous game.
Did he hold it?
I swear.
Did he limp?
No. He touched his groin. I swear, but
I knew
I
it.
thought I saw it. He touched his groin. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go back and look at it if it actually happened, because I think I did it.
I'm calling bullshit on the injury in training. I think that's bullshit.
Possible.
I think
Yeah.
that's bullshit right there.
No,
This
it's,
guy again.
this is what I'm telling you about this injury. It's not, it's like you can feel fine right after, like you don't hurt, but the minute you're gonna to do something with the ball, like taking a shot, that's when you feel it. So he
when
could
you
he could
realize.
feel okay right after and go and the next morning in the training when he tried to hit the ball, he's like, oh. And they're like, oh, he hurt on the training ground. No, he hurt it yesterday. He just felt it next day.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, exactly. I'm just, I especially this part of the season, you know, and when we're not really in competitions, do the guys really need to be doing what type of? Because he said wasn't even doing training; he was doing one-on-one. What do you mean? So what's happening in training? You're not overseeing it. So what's going on? Who's training? Who's doing this training that's injuring Kante when he should be wrapped up in bubble wrap? He's only returned after 7 months out injured. You know what I mean? And we haven't re-signed him, and this isn't going to help negotiations. We're trying to hope. Well,
True.
you know what I mean? Because he's injured again.
Let's hope Lampard is not the one that negotiated the extension
Oh,
contract.
Alex, I wouldn't have him negotiating opening a door, let alone a contract.
I was going to say I wouldn't have him.
He'd splinter his balls or something like that.
I wouldn't have him oversee looking after a fucking cat. Never mind fucking looking after these players.
I tell you guys really like Lampard.
He's probably the one. He's probably the one that's gonna let Zuma watch cat for him.
Yeah. Oh man.
No, he's taking lessons from Zuma. Never mind getting Zuma to watch it. He's taking lessons.
What are we talking about? He couldn't
He's
kick.
gonna
He couldn't
let
kick
Zuma
that.
watch his cat.
The cat would suplex him out the window. That's what would happen.
All right, on to the next discussion point. Which, by the way, it is. I'm glad you brought that up, Andrew, because people who are looking at Kante say, "Oh, look, he's injury prone. We can't re-sign him. Look at him, he's injured again." To be fair, you could blame that a lot on Lampard. I'm sure if Pochettino was managing, or even Tuchel, to a certain extent, it probably wouldn't have happened like this.
I just want to say, right? I'm not just
Possibly
saying
would
here,
have,
I'm not just saying
been better.
here. Most of the guys have heard me say on Lewis's stream as well about Lampard running Kante. I didn't want Lampard running Kante into the ground, and he's done it. He's done it already in 3 games.
Again,
He's done it. Oh.
he does it all the
Yeah.
time because he's a dreadful manager who doesn't learn from his mistakes.
We're also, I mean, to be fair, I guess
No, let's
I'll
not.
bring this
Let's
up.
be horrible.
I was
No,
going to
no,
say, like,
to be
where are you going
horrible.
with this, Marshall?
We kind of don't discuss how we're kind of running Enzo to the ground.
Oh,
I don't think this guy's sat bench at all this season. Maybe one game.
No, he came off one game and we looked worse the moment he came off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
this
started
guy-
every single game he's been
To be
able to
fair,
start.
He was actually quite good last game.
Yeah, he
People
was
forgot.
good.
I was actually, I thought he played really well last game compared to the game before that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
the
true.
former.
Yeah.
But all right, the next topic I want to bring up
I was just
is
going to say, Marshall, but this is the same thing we did with Jorginho. It's the same thing because
True.
I don't know what it is about this club. Doesn't matter who we have in charge in terms of the ownership. Some things never change. There's no planning or foresight in terms of, we
I
probably
thought
should
we are
have.
helping Arsenal winning the league with Jorginho.
I'd never thought that.
There
Ever.
we go.
Look,
Um,
is that the?
actually, I can't remember what I
you,
said.
Scott's-
About it. I can't remember what I said.
You
In terms
did say that.
I genuinely can't remember what I said about Jorginho in terms of going to Arsenal. I genuinely can't. But yeah, it was
You
more
said that
just
we're
like we
winning
did the
the
same
league.
thing with him. Like he ended up having injections because he had a back injury because we played him every game because we had to. We're doing the same thing with Enzo. We're playing him every single game because we have to, because the only other option is to make Kovacic
That
just
was the
6.
period when we didn't have nobody behind
No,
him. There's nobody
no one.
behind him. No one.
And
we
it's the
had
same thing.
we had Ruben and Saul.
I say if Enzo doesn't play, the only option is Kovacic at 6, and he's injured now as well. This fucking man.
Yeah, I don't care now. Now I don't care.
here's a player that we haven't talked about in a while, and for good reason. Pulisic. Apparently, he's going to Juve. Let's see.
Cool.
Napoli and Juventus have expressed interest in signing Chelsea winger Christian Pulisic. I can see Juve. Napoli, I don't know about that, but Juve, I could see that. They've had American players before.
They've had one
So they're probably
American
open
player,
to the idea.
and he's
Vlahovic, trade, no problema.
I would love that. I would love that, but that's not going to happen.
At least Napoli could pay for him. What are Juventus going to pay with? Another
Promises?
loan?
I don't
Maybe
know.
a loan to buy it from him? 2-year loan or something?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised Pulisic hasn't really made. I don't think he's made a single appearance under Lampard.
I don't think he has.
I
Yeah.
think he made 1 or 2 subs, I think, didn't he? Something like that.
Maybe.
Because we were
I
going.
actually started. I think he started one of the games actually.
He did. I
Did he?
think, Yeah. Was it against? Was it against Brentford? Was it against Brentford? No.
No
Brighton.
idea.
Was it against Brighton? Was it against Brighton?
I think it was
Maybe.
against Brighton, yeah. I think it was against Brighton.
Because he came on
started
a
him
sub.
or-
Came on a sub before the game. It was against us. I don't know.
It was him, Aubameyang, and someone else
The
that he
same
started.
old shit that runs together. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah, it was against
True.
Brighton. Yeah,
yeah.
he
I
started on
see
the
it
right hand
here.
side.
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, on the right side of all spots too. Like, listen, I mean, I'm not trying to vouch to have him stay. I think he's expressed interest in wanting to leave. No matter who the manager is, he wants to start. The managers don't see him as a starter. He starts, 3-4 games, he gets hurt again, which, mind you, I mean, his last injury stint, I mean, he went on a good run of not being injured, but he was coming as a sub. He wasn't a starter. Start him 3-4 games, and he got hurt again. So, listen,
I think there's a reason
his time is done.
he's not starting. I think they want him to be fit to be sold.
Yeah, I can see that. Doesn't even come
By
in
the way,
as a
what
sub
happened
either.
on the bench? Something happened on the bench. People saying the Pulisic did something on the bench yesterday, last game or something.
I don't know.
I've
Does
not,
anyone
I've,
know
not, I've not heard anything about that since. I think that's just. I don't know. No one's really followed up on that.
I just
I
heard
about-
something
all the
that
thing-
he was.
All the thing I heard about Pulisic was that he's not giving kids pictures. That's what I heard. But, you know.
Why
maybe,
did he give you one?
No. There was like a report that some match going fan was saying Pulisic is not giving pictures to that kids, like he was walking away from them. At the stadium.
What an ass, Pulisic.
The next
I don't know, man. I'm
segment.
the same, bro. You know what I'm saying, man? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
What?
Next
yeah,
segment.
what kind of kids was it? Like, what kind of kids? Like the ones
Chelsea
that
fans
like
and-
are kids, like like are kids, or like normal kids, like
Oh my! Oh no, just normal kids, man. Like normal kids.
just normal
like,
kid. Okay.
Yeah. The match going fans, innit? They just saw him like come and then just saw it simple as that.
So the next segment I want to talk about. Let's just entertain this because I don't think it's gonna happen, but we'll see. There are links. Raphina and Neymar,
Did
which
you
I
just
expected
fart
the
it?
Neymar one.
Scott.
No, I just like snap my lips together. You know, like you can do like how horses do.
Like my
Chelsea-
that's when they got fart like.
Chelsea and
Fuck.
Newcastle interested in Raphina, according to Fabrizio Romano. I was going to put this out later, but I don't think there's enough for one article, so I'll put it. Okay, this is something else. Anyways, wait, actually, Deco offered Raphina to Chelsea in the past week, mainly due to the return of Messi. Okay, Messi, Raphina
take
is.
him.
You would take Raphina
Yeah. We don't have nobody, man.
at the right wing. Yeah,
Not if right, left, no matter where. Either
I mean
that
to
or
be
Mudryk.
fair,
Either that
I-
or Mudryk and what his name is gonna start. Mudryk and what's the other guy's name?
Madueke.
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 Those are the two starters. Are you serious?
Let me actually get the other tweet in there, and we'll discuss this as a whole as well. Fabrizio Romano also reporting there's a concrete chance Neymar leaves PSG this summer. Keep an eye on Premier League clubs. Considering
No,
Pochettino is
Concrete
coming to
Boots is not
Chelsea,
playing at Chelsea.
there's probably some
Oh,
rumor that's going to
goodness.
come out from there.
No, thank
I don't
you.
think there's much weight to this. Well, I mean, okay, so Raphina, I'm hesitant about because when Raphina was playing for Leeds here in the Premier League, he had a good season. He goes off to Barca, a wash. He was a flop. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he could do well at Chelsea, but I'm very on the fence about it. As for Neymar, I don't know. I don't know Neymar. I mean, I know Neymar, but I don't know about Neymar.
Can I speak on that quickly?
No.
Go for it, Ahmed.
The reality of the situation is we don't need Neymar. I'm just gonna keep that 100% Buccaneers. We don't need him. Respectfully, we don't need his drama either. You know what I mean? We've really had enough of drama for one season, and 3 seasons, I should say. So we need a break from drama. We just need to get our heads together and just try to get competitive again. Simple as that, really. And
This
also,
would technically be the marquee signing, though. That
no.
Bowley wants
They
to
got,
do.
they got the marquee signing, man. Just bring in Felix, bro. That's their marquee signing. So let's let it.
Felix.
That's the marquee signing for the club. I can see that.
The only marquee signing he did is signed all the inches on that goalpost. He marked it like a freaking dogs, man.
No. What I mean by marquee signing, I mean in terms of like marketing wise, Felix has done that for them. Why do they need to bring in
Felix is
Neymar?
not marketing.
What
What?
do you mean? What, are you saying
His
Felix is
girlfriend
not
has
marquee
more
signing?
marketing value than him.
Oh my god, bro. What are you talking about, man? Felix is like one of the youngest players in the world. He's literally on FIFA. He's like one of the faces of FIFA that people buy. He's a marquee signing.
I mean,
I don't mean like it doesn't need to. A marquee sign does not necessarily have to be. They have the have to have the talent. Yes, Felix has the talent. Maybe he's not been obviously scoring goals. Let's not get it twisted. But from a marketing standpoint, Felix has got it. He's a marquee signing from a marketing standpoint. Let's not kid ourselves.
even-
You know
but
why
even
you
the ownership
determine
have
that?
admitted
Because
it.
his value is 80 mil. That's why you determine that.
I'm not
Maybe
talking
that-
about. I'm not even talking about from a monetary value. I'm talking about from a marketing perspective, from the stuff that I see.
If it's not alone, no
outside the
thank
football
you.
club.
If it's
No,
not
but
alone,
I'm-
no thank you.
Alex, what I'm trying to say though is I'm comparing him to like Neymar, but we don't need to begin Neymar because we already the club.
I
essentially
didn't
has their
compare him
marketing
to
group.
Neymar. I compare
No,
him
but-
to the other guy.
Who?
There's the two people he brought it up. Neymar and
Madueke
another one.
and
That's what I'm saying. To you. I'm
Raphina.
comparing him to. I'm comparing him to Neymar. I'm not
Raphina.
comparing to him. Oh yeah, I'm not comparing him to Raphina. I'm comparing him to Neymar. Sorry, that's where you get it wrong. A bit different, yeah, but I'm talking
I'll
about
take
how.
Rafinha. I will not take him.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't want to take Raphina either, bro. I'll be honest. We
Why
already
not?
have too many wingers.
Who we playing? Mudryk and Madueke?
We already have what Mudryk, Madueke,
Sterling.
and Sterling,
Sterling.
and Kuku can also play on the wings as well if we wanted them to. If we wanted them to, right?
Okay, fair.
So
I keep forgetting about Nkuku, man.
So you already have 4 guys there. There's no point.
No. I'm just saying it's hard to say on Nkuku because he never touched the Premier League.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if it's gonna be adjustment period or not. With Sterling, it's like a hit and miss. The guy just like every time I think of Sterling in the future sense, like how he's gonna play in the next season, for some reason, all I remember is this from Hazard. This is everything that I remember.
Oh my god!
From like if I'm thinking of Sterling playing in the future seasons, for some reason this is what's in my head, like him and this, because I don't trust the guy. I've never liked him.
And also, to be fair, I am tired of I don't want to see Sterling on the right anymore. I'd rather just get someone who is naturally a right-sided winger, and I think Raphina
He's
could
not
be that
played
guy.
on the right at all. When did he play on the right?
He gets played on the right plenty of times. Sterling.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
not
about,
for
bro?
Chelsea.
For Chelsea, he
He's
has.
only played when players have been injured. That's the only time he's played on the right wing. When
Yeah,
he's had injuries.
Yeah, but like Madueke, we know he has a history of injuries. Who's going to cover for him when he gets injured?
Well,
that's
Sterling.
why I think Raphina is better. First of
I
all,
agree with
even if
Alex.
hold on a second, before Madueke gets injured, that fucker needs to hold the bench.
I
He
think
ain't
he's
ready
been
to be a
good
starter,
recently,
man.
but he's not. I agree with Alex on that. I don't know if he's ready to be a starter. He's been good recently. He can work his way into the first team, but I think he should have
I
competition as
highly
well.
doubt it. He or Mudryk did not show me anything this half a season that they deserve to start. Not a single ounce.
But they've had no coaching though. So what do you expect?
What do you mean they got no coaching? Have they just walked from the street and became a professional players? They haven't got coaching.
But these guys are still young players. You know, you can't just expect them to be like going like.
And that's my point. Why you keep bringing up those when in the starting position, but not
I'm
starters?
not saying they should be starters. Oh, yeah,
Actually,
okay.
hold on a second. How many of you here on the panel think Mudryk or Madueke deserve to be a starter next season? Andrew,
I do.
You do.
Yes.
I just need to know for the
I
receipts.
don't think I can't make a case for them starting. Not a strong case.
No, I can't.
Madueke's just everyone's raving about Madueke because we've been playing shit and he had a really good game even though his finishing was crap last week. You know what I mean? So it's like because he did. It's the same thing with Felix when he did that turn against Fulham. Everyone jizzed in their pants, and he did the same with Madueke last week because he did a bit of twists and turns. But what was his end product? It was still shit like the rest. So I don't see Madueke starting, and I think Mudryk's. I don't think Mudryk will start the season starting. I think he has a better chance than Madueke. I think getting into the team.
I actually think Mudryk has more potential for the Premier League than Madueke.
Yeah,
Madueke is too technical.
I see that. I don't.
Madueke reminds me of Raphina, to be fair.
And Raphina.
I could see that.
Premier League.
Do what?
And Raphina smashed the Premier League. So
I mean, he not smashed, but
I mean,
okay, Scott. Let me ask you: out of those two, you said you can see them starting. Which one do you think is
Madueke over Mudryk.
Madueke over Mudryk? Okay, I think if any of them gonna hit, I think if any of them gonna get, the only reason I don't think Mudryk is gonna get a fair share is because of that Jamaican fraud Sterling. That's the only reason I think it's not.
Jesus Christ. I didn't say Jamaican fraud, bro. What's going on?
The main thing for me with the main thing with me with them
Mudryk should start. I don't think Mudryk should start. I don't think Madueke should start because I don't think they're good or they're ready. If they do, your standards needs to be way lowered next season.
I agree on that one, yeah.
So
they need time.
For me, if you want to focus on top 4, those two ain't happening. Kindergarten not happening. Not ready.
The thing for me is I don't understand, like, say we get Raphina then, so we've got what, 4 or 5 wingers, plus Nkunku who can play wide, plus Havertz who can play there. And if we bring Felix back on loan, which all reports say we're trying to do, that's 3 10s. I just don't understand where all these guys are fitting. I don't understand how you're getting game time for all of these guys. That's my biggest thing of like, Raphina only makes sense if we sell Sterling or unless we loan Mudryk or Madueke out. That's the only way it makes sense for me, because otherwise
Which
you've got
could
4
be
wingers.
possible.
That's fair. If we loan one of them out, then this is a different conversation. But right now, it makes no sense for me to have 4 wingers for 2 positions playing 1 game a week. Where are these guys getting the game time to even learn to develop? Because they have to get game time. If they're getting 20 minutes at the end of a game here and there, say they play well, then what are they like? I don't understand how you get the balance right with these guys, with like the game time, but also keeping the guys that are obviously above them in the pecking order happy. I just don't see it happening with 1 game a week.
I'm just trying to figure out how Poch play, and Poch uses the
Poch
wingers.
also-
He does not uses the 10s or inverted strikers.
Just quickly, guys.
Doesn't.
Just quickly, Poch has also apparently, from what we know, Poch wants Premier League proven players. So I don't know if Sterling's
that
going to
thing
sold.
Poch prefers. I don't know what Poch prefers.
Also, the Premier League proven thing's a load of shit.
Yeah, I agree with that. Would you, Scott? Oh, did I upset somebody? Weirdo.
But yeah, like, I don't get it. Also, Pochettino has used 10s, like wide 10s before. Like that's where he played Eriksen. And he like so. This is the thing, is like there is evidence to suggest that he's going to use certain players in certain ways. But again, if his plan is to kind of go back to what he had at Tottenham and kind of go for that game plan, then that means one of those guys isn't starting anyway, because he didn't play with 2 out-and-out wingers.
If you go into Southampton, Scott, even when you go into Southampton, I don't think Lallana, remember Lallana?
Yes.
He used him a lot. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he used him in that the same situation as like Eriksen. Did Chris just left without saying goodbye?
No, he put it in the chat. But yeah, as I said, that's the main thing for me as of right now. The reason I don't think we need to get Raphina is because he doesn't like. Where do you play him? Where do you play these guys? And Neymar, for me, even though I love him as a player, he doesn't fit in any way, shape, or form to what we're trying to do moving forward at all.
I just don't think I don't think any other wingers are good, and I think we're gonna play wingers versus 10s inverted like and another player that we should consider is Kulusevski. He's not a Tottenham player.
Yeah, that's a good.
They have an option for him, but I don't think he's the one that wants Tottenham. I don't think he wants to stay at Tottenham.
I would take Kulusevski in a heartbeat.
If there's a possibility, would you take Kulusevski?
Yeah.
Still no, because again, it's just my same point. I don't want any signings on the wing unless there's a clear vision for what is going to happen with the guys already here. Because again,
I agree.
As of right now, we've got 5 wingers. As of right now,
who
at least one of those is definitely leaving.
Ziyech, Pulisic, Sterling, Madueke, Mudryk. That's 5 right there.
5 guys. One is definitely leaving. Ziyech is definitely gone. Pulisic, I'm going to wait and see, because I don't know, just because I don't know how much they value him at, and I need to see if so. Like that's potentially 4 guys we've still got already. Like I need to see what the plan is first before I
Players
say
definitely
yes
need to leave.
That's the thing. Like with the other positions I would like us to sign, it's easier because like midfielder, we just need a midfielder. Like goalkeeper, we need a goalkeeper. Striker, we need a striker. We don't need a winger. Like it's not a massive necessity. It would just be like it's a position you could improve upon. But we've just got way too many bodies right now. Way too many bodies.
I see where you're coming from. On the topic of goalkeeper, actually, ladies and gents, 73 of you watching, make sure you are smashing that like button. On to the next topic. Here's the goalkeeper roundup. There's been a lot of news about the goalkeeper situation as of late, and I did want to discuss it with you guys and kind of go over all of it. So, Felix Johnson here reporting, congratulations to Gabriel Selena, who has been called up to the USA U20 squad for the for the U20 World Cup. Tournament takes place in Argentina between 20th of May and 11th of June. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this because why not? It's the U.S. and also being called up to the U.S. team as a goalkeeper. There's a lot of goalkeepers. There's a lot of competition in the U.S. when it comes to goalkeeping. So this is actually not an accomplishment
You
to
has
look
been
over.
producing a good goalkeepers, to be fair.
I was
Yeah,
going to
so
say
this is a good accomplishment.
the team that sold Slonina have literally got another one that's like younger than like a year younger than he is.
Mhm.
Literally replaced him straight away, which is mad.
So, more on Selena here is Chelsea are very confident for Gaga Selena to be the goalkeeper of the future. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea, PYSC below Fabrizio. Chelsea are very excited for Gaga Selena to show himself on a big stage at the U20. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this kid for sure. But yeah, it's looking that there's actually plans for this guy to have a future at Chelsea, which is promising. You know,
Good.
I think if he wasn't good, we wouldn't be hearing this much about him.
But it's not even that, bro. Like I need to go back to it. People forget that we weren't the only team trying to get him at the time. Real Madrid were trying to get him. Like Real Madrid don't do this for young. Real Madrid don't do this for young players unless they like have a vision for them, or very rarely. Like, do they do this for young players that they don't see anything in?
What do you mean? Real Madrid is looking for Slonina?
They no when we
before we got him.
It was us and Madrid that were in for him, and we got him ahead of them. So like that's why I know that this confidence in Slonina is well placed. When it comes to young players, Real Madrid very rarely miss. Very rarely for young players.
More on the goalkeeper situation that I want to discuss is Edouard Mendy. He could leave Chelsea at the end of the season in case of good proposal for both sides. Still waiting on new coach final decision on goalkeeper situation. Mendy signed last week with Lyon Sports Agency. Fali Ramadani will be the new agent taking care of his future. So, considering he's getting a new agent, it's very likely he's moving away from Chelsea. The other thing that I heard is that Edouard Mendy wanted around 170 million pounds, 170,000 pounds a week, similar to Kepa. I don't know when he asked for this. If he had asked for this maybe during the African Cup of Nations run, then you could see it. You can kind of justify it. But if he's asking for this now, it's a little ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. And in that case, he should move on. He should find another club that's going to pay him that. It's already bad enough that we're paying Kepa that. So that's absurd. I don't know if anyone disagrees with that. Pretty sure you're all in agreement that that's an absurd salary.
Yeah.
We are not paying two
If it was
goalkeepers
me, I will keep him and sell Kepa, but I don't think it's possible.
not for 170 grand a week.
Yeah, not for 170 grand a week.
Not
Yeah.
a number two goalkeeper.
But it's not my money anyway.
No, but
True.
But what I'm saying is, it's like you're not going to pay him that while you've still got Kepa. And then if you are thinking about getting another goalkeeper, he becomes number two. You're not going to pay a number two goalkeeper 170 grand, because it means you're going to have to pay the number one goalkeeper over 200 grand a week, possibly. Because he's obviously going to want more. He's the number one goalkeeper. Listen, he's like, you know what? His situation is like Mount in terms of contract. He started playing shit in a new contract year, and that's his problem. The bad timing of this is really bad. But I could understand if we were talking about just over a year ago. You could see why he would be justified in asking for it. Seeing as a year.
Yeah.
But now, and especially yesterday, he didn't do anything for his case yesterday. That first goal, he didn't do anything, really. So he's going to go. He's easier to move because he's on less money right now. So
Yeah. And I'm sure there's clubs that will want him, because I'm sure they've seen what the keeper he used to be was, and will have hopes that he can, be that keeper again. And I think he can. He needs to play more often, get that confidence back. But just not been working out for Chelsea. And looks like Onana is actually looking more likely to happen, or our next target. One of Chelsea's directors is appreciating Onana in a special way. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay. Real quick. So therefore they are monitoring him. And then PYS down below saying, I think in Milan's mind, Mike Maignan is worth more than 85 million pounds.
Not wrong.
No, they're not. But that would be pretty expensive for a goalkeeper, considering how much we've already spent. I don't know. Onana I could see him being a good goalkeeper, but is he world class? I don't see him being a world class keeper. To be fair, I don't think this day and age. Can't think of many
Don't
keepers.
use the world class on my when I'm on the stream, please.
I don't see
Unless
many
the guy's
keepers being that
retired,
level.
don't bring this shit up.
Well, that's
I
what
hate
I
the
mean.
word.
Like, even if you hate the word, I don't think there's any keeper that is currently playing football that we can even consider to be of that level.
None that are available.
No, yeah.
I say there's one that is available. Like you could get Maignan, but he will cost you a lot of money. Like he's the only one.
This is another also Argentinian news source here. Breaking: Chelsea and Manchester United have confirmed their interest for Emiliano Martinez, who wants to leave Aston Villa. Probably another link because of Pochettino. But I actually rate Martinez, depending on the price, though, because of the age he's at. I would like to get a goalkeeper that's starting a
How
little
old
on
is
the
he?
younger side. 31, I believe.
Yeah, something
That's
like that.
perfect. Because if Slanina is that good, that will mean that Slanina will be a perfect age to replace him in 2 years, 3 years.
That's a good way of looking at it. It's either him or Onana, in my opinion.
How old
if
is
we had to
Onana?
choose.
Onana. Yeah.
27.
It's not bad age.
Yeah.
That's not that age. That age at the goalkeeping is not that age.
I'm just saying it's not a
Goalkeepers.
bad age. He would last a long. You could put him on
No,
a
I'm just saying goalkeeping age
mildly
can be different.
decent.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
look at
the
look
prob-
at look at
I don't want the
look at when we
Courtois
started playing
situation.
Czech and Courtois. They were very young when we started playing them. You know.
Well, why would we get a Courtois situation if we get Onana though?
Because
No,
Courtois was young and ready to play, and Peter Cech was on the verge to be retired, but he couldn't wait.
No. So you misheard. I said the 18.
I didn't ask. I
race
didn't
of
tell you. I was talking to Marshall.
Oh, sorry.
I was answering
Interesting.
Marshall's situation. Why
Yeah.
Onana? Onana is gonna be at the age. So we'll look at the goalkeeper. Like people
Sure.
saying Slanina is the good in 3 years. Like
Yeah.
let's say, you see. So he will be perfect to be started within 3 years, right? So if
Oh, I
Onana
think I
is
see what
20
you're saying.
So
Okay,
he
yeah.
will be 30. Now we'll work
Okay.
with you.
Okay. Yeah.
He's
I
not
see what you're
ready to
saying.
leave.
Yeah, it's interesting the goalkeeper development that's happening, and I'm happy to hear about Slonina. Hopefully he does step up, but I wouldn't count out Emiliano Martinez. I know some of you guys on the panel don't rate him, but I think he could be a good goalkeeper.
Who's
But
that?
regardless of that, Emiliano Martinez.
Oh, no. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I'm sure we do a good.
He's
job.
definitely good at penalties, but I feel like everyone just dumbs it down to he's just good at penalties.
And
I think
he's
he's
ready
overall a
to
good shot
start
stopper.
immediately.
I think it's lazy
also-
journalism that an Argentinian player's being linked.
Yeah,
to
that too.
Argentina.
Yeah,
I don't think it's. I think it's because
Like
he's,
McAllister Martinez.
No. It's just because it's we need a goalkeeper.
No, I know, but what
But
I'm saying is-
there were
what I'm
Martinez
saying
links
is-
with Chelsea after the World Cup, if I remember correctly.
I can't remember that. I'm just saying.
I don't think there were.
I feel like there were. Maybe I'm.
Yeah,
maybe
they
I'm
were.
misremembering.
There were reports before that. You're right. There were reports.
And we
after
were
the World
interested. Yeah, but then again, like I'm sure, like there was a lot of clubs that were supposedly interested as well, just because he's a World Cup winner. But I mean, on that note, let's go ahead and we're getting close to the end of the show. But we will be talking about everything. Guys, make sure if you are here and you haven't done so already, make sure you are smashing that like button. Let's talk about, this is where things start to get spicy, boys. Let's talk about Mason Mount again, our favorite poster boy. Yeah, we kind of do. We don't have to, but I would like to. So let's talk. Let's get some news
Oh, you
here.
had to
So
bring up a picture with this waste of space next to him, didn't you?
Hey, who are you talking about?
it's the tweet. It's the
Who are you
tweet.
talking about? Who's the waste of space?
Fucking cokehead next to him.
Conor Gallagher remains on Newcastle's wanted list, and Mason Mount was also discussed previously. However, Mount would require them to break their wage structure. Chelsea's bloated squad includes a number of players Newcastle admires, or yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, next tweet. Mauricio Pochettino believes Mason Mount can become a key player in his Chelsea revolution despite ongoing uncertainty over his long-term future. The Argentine is a big admirer of Mount's ability on the ball and work ethic, and feels the Blues Academy graduate would suit the style he wants to implement. What did we say before about that? That should be the bare minimum, the work ethic. But we also did say that most managers would like a player like Mount who has that work ethic, like run for every ball, always press, even if it means it's not an effective press. But
I'm just trying to contemplate the first bit. Sorry, the on the ball, the ability on the ball. Sorry, what? Have I read that right?
Yeah, that's what it says. We'll come back to this tweet. Well, let me
Maybe
continue
not
to the next tweet.
everybody is watching and rating players like you, Scott.
Maybe. I don't know. Mauricio Pochettino will ask Chelsea to restart contract negotiations with Mason Mount once his appointment is confirmed. This is coming from Nazar Kinsella. I have another tweet right here. Chelsea will try will try until the end to extend Mason Mount's contract. Okay, well, we'll see what happens with that. It seems very likely he doesn't want to stay at Chelsea based on how many contracts he's already turned down. But now we have recent tweets coming out today. Mason was offered a 1-year extension by Chelsea in February, but this was flatly rejected and seen as a ploy simply to raise his transfer fee. Relations between the players and representatives and the club are at an all-time low. This is coming from Andy Dillon at The Sun. And then the Blue source says, it feels like it's too late now for Mason. Pochettino is good, but he can't work miracles. If he had been bought in when Chelsea sacked Thomas Tuchel in September, then maybe it would be a different story. But in 10 months, there hasn't been any resolution that other clubs want him. Good luck to Pochettino and Mason, but we're not hopeful. So, that being said, if I don't know. Yeah.
Hey. Fuck off.
Fucking minerals, bruv.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if Poch could get something out of Mason, then sure, he could stay. But it's very clear, even with Potter giving him all the playtime in the world, even with Lamps being here, who kind of gave him his career in a sense, I just don't think he wants to be here. I really don't think he wants to stay at the club. That's on Mason. It's not on the owners. It's not on Poch. It's not on the directors. It's on Mason. He wants to get paid a surmountable amount of wages. Let him go and get paid a surmountable amount of wages. The wages he thinks he deserves. And do I think he's a bad player? No. Did I think he have a bad season? Fucking yes. But yeah, it's I'm not concerned with this. I kind of hope he just goes because I'm done with the fan base. Quite honestly, I don't mind if we keep Gallagher if Poch gets the best out of him. Ideally, maybe sell both, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know what you guys think. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
pretty
go
much.
on, go on.
I got
Yeah,
nothing to
I'm
say
just-
about
I'm
Mount.
just-
I'm tired of this conversation, Mount.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm tired too. I mean, I'll talk about what was said above there. I don't buy that. We offered him a 1-year contract to raise his value. Like, we were just trying to sign into an 8-year contract, and now it's a 1-year contract to raise his value. Like, do we think the players are stupid? I don't. I'll give the club the benefit of the doubt on that. And just some of the stupid things I've been seeing. People think that Mount can replicate the Eriksen role. Like, the disrespect to Christian Eriksen. Like, people need to have some shame there. I just don't see where he fits into a Poch system, because unless you're going to play him in that Eriksen role, which I don't think works, you've got to play him as the number 10 because he's not going to play in a pivot. And we've got Nkunku in the number 10. We got Felix that we supposedly want to come back in for. There's no room for him. So
Potentially.
And yeah, maybe. So
I also forgot to mention this. Again, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know how true it is, but apparently Arsenal
It comes from the
are
sun.
eyeing
I'm
a
not-
60 million. Yeah, exactly.
and that's
why
the
I
thing.
said take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, massive.
Mhm.
Yeah, massive pinch of salt there. So, it's just a tired conversation, really. I don't see where it fits, but whatever happens, really.
Yeah, it's he can go. As long as we get a good fee for him, I do not mind him going at all. I really don't mind him going. Tired of it.
I
don't think he's good enough.
I'll say it again.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I'll say it again. Managers can want players to stay, stuff like that. But if he doesn't agree to the terms of a new contract that we offer, then the club has to sell him. It's as simple as that. They can't allow him to stay going into the last year of the contract. It doesn't make any logical business sense.
Yeah,
Gotta
but
use my
how dare?
thumbnail.
But hold on a second. But what happened to Jorginho? I thought Jorginho's selling to Arsenal was a mistake.
What has that got to do with what we're talking about?
I was
right
going
now?
to say that has literally nothing to
It's
do.
got nothing
No.
to do with what we're
The
talking
guy
about now.
had the 6 months left on the contract, and we sold him because 6 months left on the contract.
Okay,
It's
but
about
what
it's about maximizing value.
well, yeah, it's about maximising what we're going to sell him for in this summer compared to in January, essentially. And even then, he doesn't have to accept the move in January either. So you don't because he knows he's going to
Because I
get
thought that
because he knows he's going to get a massive signing on fee if he walks if on a free transfer, right? Wherever he goes. So I just think it's not the managers. Yeah, you want to keep the players. I understand that, but the problem is if the board, whoever, think he's worth this much paying a week, and he thinks something different, and they can't agree on it, you can't wait around and wait for until the end of the transfer window. You need to sort it out
that's
basically
what
in
I'm
the
saying
first
with
week of June or
Jorginho.
something. Yeah.
That's what I was saying with Jorginho. If they knew that he wasn't signing, they were not offering him contract. Sell him.
I think.
Why-
Do you know? I don't even know if you know what with Jorginho. I think they were quite happy to let him see out the contract, but then they just got the offer from
He's
Arsenal.
that shit
That's-
that
I
we'll
was
give
gonna
him
say, well,
go free.
That's Andrew. That's literally what it was. I say it what it was. He said that they.
Seriously, Alex. I seriously.
He said after he moved to Arsenal, he never got a contract offer. So like,
Yeah.
I think they were. They were happy.
Yeah,
to
so that's good then. That if he never got the contract up, that's good that we got some kind of value for
No,
him,
but
right?
Alex, I don't think they ever thought they'd get that type of offer for him.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
why I
what I
think
was
they-
trying to say. So people
Right.
that complained that we sold Jorginho to
Jorginho.
Arsenal, why are they complaining? We ain't getting out. He was about to walk on free. We sold him. We didn't let him offer.
No, I see that. It's the same amount. Listen,
Yeah, same with
if
Mount.
we're
If
not
he don't-
offering him like a $2,000 pay rise. We're offering him like over double of what he's making right now, or seems to be like that. So it's not as if we're offering him like pennies on the extra pennies on the dollar or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Or like timeshare in Hawaii or something like that. Do you know what I mean? We're offering him like nearly over double his wages. So we're not offering him. He's going to. Don't worry, guys. He's not going to be in a bread line or take a second job. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So he's going to be offered a lot, but and from his side, he's entitled to ask for what he thinks he's worth.
Yeah,
At some point in the negotiation. So I don't blame him, and I don't blame
No.
the club. They have two different valuations of each other. If they can't
Yeah,
meet,
it's-
they can't meet, and he has to go. It's
It's the same
happened
thing with
since football started. Jesus.
Sure.
it's the same
I
thing with
just
the
wanna
menu.
s-
Like, they're well within their right to ask for this money, and like I'll never begrudge them for asking for this money in terms of like
Yeah.
getting your bread. Like I'll never begrudge you
No.
for it because it's a short what's it called, like footballers' careers are short, but at the same time if the club don't deem you to be worth that, then that is what it is. It's time to go, blood.
Yeah, that's
you
what I
know
was
what?
saying. Like, I just want the same energy from the people that saying like, if Mount doesn't sign a contract or not offering a contract, sell him. Don't let him walk on free. Same thing with Jorginho. Well, don't complain if you wanted. Like, why did you
wasn't-
sell
It
Jorginho?
wasn't quite.
If
the
he
same
wasn't
thing.
the signing, if he was not gonna offer, yeah, take that money and
Yeah. But I with Jorginho on the side note, I didn't think they ever thought someone would offer over 10 million.
Yeah. Also,
pounds.
there's with the Jorginho thing. I think there's different things to that. There's different context to that. With the Mount thing, it's like you've got time. Like I think there's different contexts. That there's slightly different situations. But I do agree in terms of if he's not going to sign a contract, get rid of him. And that's the same with most of these players. Like Kovacic, if he does not want to be here anymore, and he's not going to sign a new contract, he needs to be sold as well. Same for basically anyone that's got 1 year left.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and it would be absolutely. I would love to see how Chelsea Twitter explodes if Mason Mount were to go to
Fucking
Arsenal. Oh my god, I'll just be sitting in a backseat enjoying popcorn. Like, oh my god.
Hey,
It's
you know
like-
what we could do? You know what we could do with what I'm thinking, right? If it happens, we should do a show but do live reactions to tweets. So we can do like
No. Can you? There's gonna be a bigger left situation if we sell Mount and sign Rice.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be crazy. All right, so on the topic of signing players and players that may or may not stay, let's go ahead and discuss Felix, who is looking more and more like this guy's gonna stay, which is I think it's good as long as we get Havertz out. So let's talk about it. Chelsea board are happy with João Felix's attitude and performances, according to Fabrizio Romano. Another tweet right here. Chelsea are planning with João Felix for next season. It will be about negotiation with Madrid in the next few weeks. It is a concrete possibility that Kovacic leaves Chelsea. We already know that. Excuse me. And then Fabrizio Romano right here is saying there is still no negotiation between Chelsea and Atletico Madrid. They will meet at the end of the season. Mauricio Pochettino or any other coach will have a role in deciding. The Chelsea board is happy with João Felix, with his attitude and performance, and the player is happy in London. He's happy to stay, and Chelsea are keen to keep him. And I saw on another tweet that Atletico Madrid were willing to give it to us on loan again, but I forgot the price. It's like a 16 million euro loan or something like that.
About that, yeah.
Not mad at it.
For 16 million, you would take it, Scott?
Yeah, I'd take it. Like, I think.
Hold on a second. That's not the full fee. 16 million just the fee plus his wages. That around goes to almost 30 mil.
30 million for a loan, give or take.
Yeah, I'm still happy with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think he is a good player. I think that we saw that like when he first came in. He did like raise the level of the team at least for a little while before it all went to shit. I just think he's been another one of these players has been a victim of the circumstance and a victim of like the lack of just anything really with the club. And yeah, I want to see what he's going to look like under someone that can
Wasn't
actually.
it the same excuse he's on loan in the first place?
What do you mean?
Atletico, what happened? It doesn't right fate. Maybe it's just him, not the club anymore.
Well, Simeone was playing him a lot in the striker position and the left wing. So it was kind of
Yes,
like
but
we
you-
saw what happened. We saw what happened left wing with Lampard this season with Felix, and then we saw last game what happened with him as a striker. Which, mind you, I think him as a striker was better than Havertz most of the season. Not saying much there. The bar is already on the floor.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I'll take Havertz over him as a striker.
Really?
Yeah, he's horrible as a center forward. He's like Havertz, but Havertz actually better as a center forward.
How so exactly? Because of link-up play?
Because of link-up play. Havertz is bad at the. There's the hold-up game. He's not. I saw him. No, he's better when he plays from the when he goes from the deep, receives the ball. That's when he is. He's not a striker. No.
Well, yeah, I agree. Ideally, we don't want to play.
No,
Felix
he's
as
not a striker. Kai Havertz not a striker, but Kai
Yeah,
Havertz
yeah.
is better striker than he is.
I kind of disagree with that, but you know, I can see where you're coming from too. There is the link-up play that's important, but I don't know, man. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, maybe under another manager, under Poch, maybe we get a better Felix. Listen, I just looked up his age too. He's only 23, so there is room for improvement. And what I've seen so far, like, there's a good player in him. There is a good player in him. Like, he has good technique. He has good dribbling ability. He can, drive the ball up the pitch, which we've seen him do multiple times. Good, really, like, him and Sterling could do really well in a counterattack, and we've seen it done already. Like, they're fantastic when it comes to the counterattack for Chelsea. I think there's value in him. I wouldn't mind keeping him. I wouldn't even mind really. I just want to see more goals and assists because I almost want to say let's just sign him, but there's no output yet.
No, there definitely
there's
is a
room for
value in
improvement.
him. There definitely is a value in him, but the thing is, getting him on loan next season is going to give us a more clear idea of what that value actually is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is he worth it though on loan if we only play him once a week?
I think he is.
That's almost a 30 mil. That's almost half of his value.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it depends how Poch sets up.
I gotta say, guys, I don't. Watching him, to me, he's an average player.
Thank you.
In terms of substance, yeah.
He's not. Is what? Is it 3 goals in 18 games or something like that?
Yeah.
And I know, but I don't even see him really create big chances for anyone. Stuff like that. He does a little bit of turn here and there, and then runs into a defender, and everyone like they say, pitches a tent in their pants when they see that.
Yeah. Remember that South Park that you used to have Ivy with
yeah. Exactly. I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry, man. I don't think it's worth it even for a loan fee. I really don't. I really do not think he's worth it for a loan fee, especially now when we're only going to play once a week. So
I get what you're saying, Andrew. Go ahead.
Take this, right? Pinch of salt stories. So
Sure.
we're linked to Lautaro Martinez, right? There's a possibility Lukaku's coming back.
Sure.
There's no real market for Havertz. Yeah, you've got Nkuku coming in. You've got Sterling there. You've got Madueke there. You've got Mudryk there. So that's 7 players in attacking. Where do you play this guy? Since when you loan a player, a big time player or supposed big star, and you loan him, you really are looking to play him a lot, right? It's not like a sub-all situation where it's like part of the squad or something like that. I honestly don't think.
Especially when you're low for 30
right
mil.
now, this is obviously dependent on if we do sell any of those players that I just mentioned, like Lukaku or Havertz or something like that. But as I stand right now, when I look at it, I don't think it's worth outlaying this money for him. I really don't. It's a loan deal. We're going to end up if we. So get this right. How much did we pay for him this loan? Was it
11 million euros?
11 million.
Mm-hmm.
And with the wages, so we're talking about probably nearly to 20 or nearly 25 million because we're paying all his wages as well. Then you're going to pay another thing, so that's 30 million. So we're paying already 55 million, nearly 50 million for a loan. Then what if then we're going to pay another transfer fee, which is going to be anywhere from 60 to 80 million. We're going to end up and his wages. We ended up paying like nearly 140 million for this guy, and I don't think he's going to back it up with the output, even if. I just don't. I don't think he's worth it. I really don't. Even not for a loan fee, he's not worth it.
I see where you're coming from, especially when you said how many chances does he really create? The thing with Felix is that one, I think if we give him a proper striker, there could be more chances for him to create stuff. But it's not even like the chance creation that has convinced me that he could be good for Chelsea. It's how effective he's been in that position. We've seen Mount in that position so much, and it could be a result of just having Mount in that position. I'll even give you that. It could be just be seeing how shit Mount's been, how he hugs the left wing or how he hugs the right wing, doesn't let our players play, can't connect. The effectiveness of having Felix there, connecting the attack with the defense and progressing the ball up the pitch. We saw Sterling do it yesterday as well when he was playing from the deeper position at times in the counterattack. It's just, I think we need a player like that. And if it's Felix, sure, it could be Nkuku even. It could be Nkuku that becomes that player.
Felix is that player. I really don't. I don't think he's that player. I just don't see it that much. I didn't see it much at Atletico Madrid. And you're going to say, Simeone, they played dead football, but look how they're playing right now. They're playing very good football right now. And I'm not saying that they play shit football that was down to Felix. Of course not. I don't really see it at Portugal. I know they're playing a bit out wide or something like this. It seems to be that this is a player that he doesn't know, or no one knows his actual best position. Do you know what I mean?
Says it number 10.
Right,
I disagree.
but to me, he's a number 10. To me, he's a number 10 that doesn't score a lot, doesn't create a lot.
Well, you think there's room? Oh, I mean,
That's a
again,
that's a Havertz situation right there.
Yeah.
One. So why would you add another one? I don't.
The
think he's got
dilemma,
the
the dilemma here is like, I feel like there is a ceiling there that he can reach. I just don't know. Like, if I were Chelsea, I'm at a point like you might as well just buy him instead of spending another 30 mil just to dish out the money.
I disagree. I'm not laying out 85 million for
Or
him.
just don't buy him at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy him. I'd seriously. I don't think he's worth it. Buying him or on loan. I really
I
don't.
think
I think the
Go on.
I think it's you can see the prime example of the player went young to a big club, because big clubs don't actually how you say it they teach, like how you say, they don't coach, they don't have time. Like I said, the young big teams that fighting for the titles, fighting for the top fours and this Champions League, they don't have time to develop the young players, enough time.
Yeah.
And you can see the undevelopment, unfinished product.
Yeah, he
I
left
don't-
Benfica too early, man.
Yes, I really do. And that's
Yeah.
why I think what Bellingham is doing, that's why I think that the whole thing with Madueke, the whole thing with what's his name, with the players like that, it's just undevelopment status. Like, he's not a complete footballer. You can see in him, because he's been in a position when he makes the good decision in the midfield, then he progresses, he's making a bad decision in an offensive zone. Then opposite, you can see him doing the bad mistakes in the midfield when he tries to grab the ball. Then you can see him makes the stupidest mistakes in the final third, when he instead of passing, he goes to take a shot. So that just means that I think Lampard is actually spot on when he said he doesn't know what he actually is. I think he just likes to play football, and I think that he needs to be. I don't think Chelsea is the one that needs to look out for his career at this stage. We don't have time. He needs, especially for the fee.
I agree.
There is something in him. I
There is
don't disagree with you, but
There's
I don't
something
think
there.
we're in the thing.
I'm not saying he's a bad player or anything. I just don't. I'm struggling.
For the
now.
price.
I'm struggling to see where he plays next season if those situations pop out. And so even if Kai Havertz leaves and Lukaku leaves, okay, so you're going to get Martinez. Say if you get Lautaro Martinez and you got Nkuku coming in, where does he play? Does he play in the 10 and then you put Nkuku out wide, or does he play out wide and you put Nkuku in the 10? Where does he play? Because out wide, I don't see you getting the best out of him out wide.
Not at all.
Whatsoever. So I don't think he'd be drifting in a bit more. And number 10, like I said, it's like he's got, for me, it's like, I know when Lewis said about Havertz, he's a number 10 that doesn't create, he's a striker that doesn't score. For me, I don't feel ever confident in him one-on-one with a goalkeeper, because his shot power and his placement is not that good. It's like there was a game that was like he had the only chance in the first half, and it was like you might as well have just passed it back to the goalkeeper, because his shot power is not good enough. And maybe I'm doing a bit of disservice, because maybe he'll one of those he'll play better with better players, and we haven't got those type of players at the moment. But he's not our player. You know what I mean? For us to go, yeah, we can definitely give him a chance.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If he was already here, you'd go, yeah, okay, I can see something. We'll do something. But
are we the club that will take a risk on 80 mil right now? Are we at the stage that we should do that?
We're already doing it with Mudryk, right? You know what I mean? We're doing it with another one.
Well, 60.
So but what I'm saying is, it's a big outlay, right, for potential, and you could even say that a bit on Enzo, right? Because he hasn't reached his full potential yet.
No.
We've seen stuff, but we've laid out. That's what I mean. we have to be really careful. We still have to sell players this summer before we buy them.
Exactly.
And it's like,
more selling players than buying.
Yeah, and I really think that
we need this. We need
Felix
to think of
Felix is not a big. It's not an
important part of a
It's
piece.
not important. It's not a priority.
Priority is striker, midfielder, goalkeeper.
Exactly.
Let's not divide from this line.
Exactly. We need them freeing. Because let's do this. Say you bring Felix in before you buy a striker.
That's
Well, the
stupid.
striker goes, well, you've already got him. Why do you need me for? Do you know what I mean? That could happen.
Yeah, because
right?
Marshall already think he's a striker.
I said he's better than Havertz.
No,
at striker. Not that he was.
But that shouldn't be the measuring stick.
No, I'm wrong
I know.
too. I thought Kai Havertz was a striker. I was saying he has a body and technique to be a 9. Well, man, did I take a L on that?
That was me last season.
We all did. We all got
Yeah.
the L, man.
Most people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all got the L on that one.
One thing I wanted to bring up on the topic of João Felix is I think Andrew brings up a good point when it comes to where we see him next season, considering Nkuku and where Havertz. I think Havertz is probably going to stay. The other thing to keep in mind too is that I know everyone's been saying that with Poch coming into the club, and I know this is heavily dependent on the players we sign in the summer, but if in the chance we don't get a DM, it's very likely Poch adapts and plays a 3 at the back, which leaves us with one less attack in the front.
Not a chance. He never.
There's no
I think
chance.
so. I think
No.
so because hear me out. I think so because we've seen now with Tuchel, we've seen now with Potter, and even to a certain extent, we're seeing it with Lampard. It just seems that this team is suited for a 3 in the back system, considering the wing backs we have in Reece and Chilwell, the midfield we have, and getting Enzo to play as an 8. When you go to the back 4, and let's say, for example, you defend as a 3, or no, you go forward as a 3 at the back, you have Enzo drop. I don't know. It just seems that something's telling me that we're going to go 3 at the back next season as well if we don't get a DM.
I mean,
really
looking at Poch's Spurs team though, he actually did that in game. Like he wouldn't start with a 3 at the back. It would be he'd have Alderweireld and Vertonghen as the 2 centre backs. He'd have Dyer in the midfield who would actually drop in during the game, and that would create a situational back 3. So in possession, he would be playing sort of a 3-4-3-ish kind of shape.
That's
So
what I mean, though. And then we
you
would
could
have
easily
Enzo
That's
drop
how
drop
we
in that
actually
position.
play with Tuchel. That's how we play with Lampard. When we have the possession, even with that, we still feel like we're playing the way the structure is. It looks like a back 3 when we have the possession. That's how it's supposed to look with the wing, with the overlapping wing backs or overlapping fullbacks. That's at
That's
the
kind
end
of my
the day
point.
how you look. But
That's kind of my
that
point,
doesn't-
Alex.
No.
When
I see
like
what
having
you're saying.
having Enzo in that position, dropping in with the center
and
backs. I
no,
don't
but
want
he
that
he
anymore.
can't do that though.
He can't do that.
If we don't get a
Enzo
DM,
is
he's gonna
not
have
that.
to.
No,
No,
forget
but he
about
can't.
the DM.
No, no,
We're not
no,
getting
no.
DM specifically. There's no number 6 sitter. There's no Mikel. There's not gonna be Mikel. Forget about it. We get
Marshall,
8
what-
that can have defensive awareness. That's it.
What I was trying to say is the fact that he uses a back 3 in possession, he could maybe just start with it anyway and not have to do all this midfield drops in and fullbacks become wing backs. Like just start with it. That could be an alternative. In which case, Enzo doesn't have to drop in. He just plays that pivot position with his partner, and then we have a third centre back just starting instead. That could be an alternative.
It's
just
called
don't-
playable center backs. What's his name does? Ake. What Ake does. This is what Tuchel wanted him. That playing center back. That if playing center back, he becomes the. If you pushing your midfielders higher, you have the center back that could be a left back. That play,
Sure.
for example, and he becomes the midfielder, like whatever he drifts into the midfield. That allows the 2 defensive midfielders, whatever their name is, y'all can use, push higher, and he will be the third one, like the deep sitting midfielder. And in possession, without possession, he slides back in. Well, all of a sudden, become 5 at the back.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's going to play at 3 anyway, because or at least I
don't
hope
think
he
he is
doesn't.
either.
Because the biggest thing I want from Poch is to just not waver, in terms of if he wants to play a 4, just play a 4. I don't want this. I don't want this nonsense of I want him to push through with his what he wants to do with the team, rather than trying to mold himself around what is available in the team, if that makes sense. Because that's what we saw Potter did, and it did us harm, because we spent so long trying to play in the system that suited the club. We spent less time sorting out patterns of play that work with what he wanted to do, that by the time we started to see what he wanted to do, we'd had so many losses and so many poor performances that it didn't make up for it.
Actually, is. I don't think it's that's I can see what you're saying, and I agree with you, but I don't think that's the situation why he didn't do it. Because I said it with Potter, we actually defended as a defensive unit. We play defensively better. For example, it's not saying that we didn't concede the goals. That's not what it means. That means if me, like I said, from defensive, the way I think, defensive lines, defensive structure was better when it was a back 4 under Potter. The problem with Potter, we did not play fast enough through the midfield. That's the biggest problem with Chelsea in current situation. No matter how many times you play, no matter how you play, is it back 3, back 4, back 5, whatever. If you slow enough in a build-up, you're not catching the team in the transition. You're not catching them when they try to set the defensive lines. You let them set defensive line, and it becomes NFL. It becomes you playing against the set defense, and it's nearly impossible to beat the defensive. You have to evolve so much on yourself, on your talent. That's the biggest problem. That's what Tuchel failed, because he was the one that depended so much on the individual talent, that individual talent was never there. See what I'm saying? So for me, the whole thing, if Poch is the simplest managers out there. If you look at his game at Southampton more than you look at he's the simplest person. He likes to break the lines quicker. He likes the Christiansen, not Christiansen. What's his name? What's the guy that had the heart attack? Ericsson. Ericsson. He doesn't want him to go wide. Even his stand, he doesn't want him to go wide. He likes them to split those center midfielders. He wants them to separate them. He wants Rodri and Gundogan to separate them. If you separate the defensive midfield line, that's how you break the teams. He wants the player to be there. The quicker you get the ball to that kind of player, and Ericsson was excellent in one thing, he will not be afraid to make the break passing lines. He will pass it before he will think it. That's why frauds like what's his name score a lot of goals. What's that guy who went to Turkey? Dele Alli. Because you don't have to be a lot of talent to be in that situation to finish the balls. If you have a good enough passing range and you don't you break the defensive line, it's impossible to defend when you're on the heels.
Yeah, that was Alex always spitting, man. Let's go on to the next topic. It was a good topic, boys. What's up?
September. He's only got one game a week, apart from cup games like League Cup stuff like that.
Are you counting games?
Season. Okay. So he's got more of a chance to put his philosophy across and get four at the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody was waiting at a good preseason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Remember the
We'll
preseason fans?
Yes.
Potter didn't have a preseason.
He did. Yeah.
True.
He did, you're right.
Poch is gonna have a preseason. He's gonna have no excuses. Speaking of preseason and players in Poch and Chelsea, let's go ahead to the next topic that I want to discuss briefly before we go into Poch. Thiago Silva. Okay, this is something I wanted to touch on just because I feel like so many people were blowing this so out of proportion. Chelsea content creators, Chelsea
Talk
Twitter.
about his wife.
We will.
Wait,
we will.
Marshall, you're meaning to tell me that Chelsea fans blew something way out of proportion? No, that doesn't sound right to me.
There's a reason why I didn't say, "Oh, Thiago Silva's leaving the club." I didn't even bother talking about it in last week's show or midweek because I just like. Okay, so this is where it stems from. I understand where it stems from, and you can interpret it how you want. He does this interview after Champions League. The first step made, incorrect step has been made. Why is this not playing? All right, awesome. I love it. We can't blame. Yeah, it keeps freezing. It is what it is. It's fine. We keep blaming managers if we don't take responsibility. It's a hard period for the club. Indecision. A lot of indecision, change of owners, new players arriving. We had to increase dressing room size because it didn't fit the squad. This is everyone saying like, oh, Thiago Silva, dropping the truth, being brutally honest. Positive point is there are amazing players in the squad, but on the other hand, there's always players. Gosh,
This is going well.
This is going amazing. What are you talking about? Fantastic. 1 second, boys. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. I would be too if I were watching this. This is the best content on YouTube right now. I love it. All right. Fuck this. Okay, we move on. Basically, saying that next... I'm moving on from this one. Next season, the managers need to, or not the managers. He just said next season we need to have more organization. It needs to be better organized, or it's going to happen again next season. Okay. People are saying, "Oh, that's a jab at the owners," and yada yada, and all this and that. Okay, whatever. Breaking: Chelsea unlikely to stand in Thiago Silva's way should he inform them that he wants to go back to Brazil this summer. Silva made his frustrations Chelsea disappointing season clear following the Champions League elimination at Real Madrid, accusing controlling owners Todd Boehly and Begdad Bali of making an incorrect step. You could interpret it as him accusing the owners, or you could just him speaking in generalities like, as a club, we made an incorrect step.
Why is Lewis in pain?
Lewis is always in pain. So we move. Next tweet. And again, I was never worried about it because this is just like, no, you guys should know who Thiago Silva is. A top-class professional, one of the few people left in the game that actually believe in loyalty. So Thiago Silva, it's boring to me, but I renewed my contract 2 months ago. I've always fulfilled my contracts. I only won't stay here if Chelsea don't want me next year, or if the new coach who arrives doesn't want me to stay. I even told my wife, I don't know what kind of meeting they said Thiago Silva had, and he's close to going back to Fluminense. There's nothing. Bella Silva confirms it as well. Staying in London. They love it here. We're happy here. Another part of this was Thiago Silva. There's nothing between me and Fluminense. Now I've extended my contract to Chelsea because I want to stay. He tells us to ESPN. And again, Thiago Silva, you can be sure that I will be a blue for the rest of my life. I love you with all my strength. Saying that to the fans. Listen, I love this man. He's a fantastic player for Chelsea. In my eyes, most likely, in my opinion, a Chelsea legend already. He's done nothing but great things for the club. He's been so impactful, so fantastic. And he's a leader on the pitch. You can see how our players improve around him as well. Yeah, it's I think this whole nonsense that he was leaving the club was bullshit from the very beginning. And anyone that was feeding into that narrative has pie on their face right now.
Why you don't bring his wife? His wife made it such a bad comment that people like thinking that he will ruin Thiago Silva. She will ruin Thiago Silva legacy at the Chelsea.
Yeah, that was earlier. I didn't find that tweet. I forgot about that, to be honest, Alex.
She was also at Wembley today because the women's team won the FA Cup.
Yeah, why? I was gonna see if as casual Marshall actually will end the stream without even saying anything. I was gonna bring you to the justice, you fraud, if you wouldn't mention the women winning the FA Cup. Saying like,
I forgot about that. Yeah, no,
But
listen,
yeah.
I don't cover the women's side of things. Good for them that they won
We
the
should have
FA
done
Cup.
this season. We'd be happier.
We'd be happier this
The
season.
first trophy under Bowley.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
you know what? There you go.
know what?
Good
Proper
point.
chills
No,
now.
There you go.
We start
What are you
bowling.
Bellin saying about Bowley now?
We
won a
start
trophy.
bowling a stand.
I don't know.
But yeah, do you guys want to add on to this Thiago Silva stuff? I think I pretty much nailed it on the head.
I mean, I haven't
it was
really got
stupid from the
anything.
get-go.
I haven't got anything extra really to say than I did yesterday. You know, I think people have just gone 3 steps ahead and said, "Oh, well, you know, we're not going to stand in his way. Then he must be leaving." Like, no.
Yeah, your friend Andrew said it like somebody had the balls to call her out.
Huge shit stirrer.
But that being said, though, like the journals are always going to look for a story. They're always going to look for a little breadcrumbs to get something out of this. I always knew from the jump, like
I
this is
always
just
want
being
to.
well
I
out.
always want to say, Thiago Silva, he can do whatever he wants. He wants
Yeah.
to leave, he can go.
Exactly.
He wants to stay, he can stay.
You know
If
what?
his wife wants to be vice captain, I'll have no problem with it.
You know what? He'll
If she
probably...
wants to go and kick somebody's ass on the bench, she can do it.
That's true. You
And
know
it's
what?
not-
He might be. It'd be interesting how Poch uses him next season because we're playing less games.
Yeah,
So, you know.
he should have no problem starting every one of them.
No, I'm just saying it depends.
All
What I'm saying is like
interest.
usage. Do you play him a lot? Do you start building a partnership if they're both fit between Badiashile and Fofana?
Play him beside what's his name? Beside Enzo. He's technical enough to actually be a DM.
Yeah, he is.
True, he is.
Oh wow.
I mean, listen,
No.
I'd love to be selfless and say that, yeah, let's let him go if he wants to go. But at the end of the day,
I don't want to
you know,
let him go.
but with the situation we're in, like looking at our back line, if you've got Colwill coming in as well, if you got Colwill coming in and then Silva leaves, our only experienced option is Koulibaly, and you cannot
God,
argue.
thank you. No,
And
thank
you
you.
you just cannot argue that he
Oliver,
is.
why? Why you want us to suffer? Man?
And I'm just stating the facts here, and at the end of the day, no one can argue that Koulibaly should be starting next season. So we're going in with a completely
Yeah.
inexperienced back line.
We
It
have
just
a
doesn't make
young
any sense.
center backs, and they need the
Yeah.
learning from somebody. And they
Exactly.
ain't no Koulibaly or Aspilicueta.
That's my point exactly.
I'd say, like,
I'd
I'm
be
fine
Thiago
with Silva. Like, going on Silva's playing time, I'm fine for him to be, like, the third option. Like, for him to not start that many games. And for you to, like Alex said, like, build that partnership between Badiashile and Fofana. You know, start them early from when they eventually play for France. Yeah, like, I'm more than happy for that. But, yeah, like, I'd prefer him to be at the club next season. It's just one of those things, like, if and when he does want to leave, eventually, because I imagine he probably does want to go back to Fluminense at some point, I'm more than happy for him to, like, whenever he wants to.
I don't want to go in the season with only Fofana and Badiashile.
Oh, no. I don't want that.
them. This is how you learn. You learn by playing beside somebody. So let Thiago Silva play with Fofana next week. If Thiago Silva is not hurt and he's okay, let him play with Badiashile. And switch a room. Let them play. Let them give confidence. Cup games. Play them both. Let Thiago Silva go on Brazil on vacation. São Paulo. You know, get some Lampards. Some buildings.
That is an imitation of Carnival or something.
You see what I'm
like-
saying? You see what
Yes.
I'm saying? Like, that's how you're supposed to do it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I respect Thiago Silva to death, and I'm definitely gonna get a kit with his name on it. My eyes, I think he's gonna go down as a Chelsea legend. Big up to him, man. All right, last topic before we go on and discuss this guy. Smash those likes. You already know what to do. Subscribe if you're new. Check out the links in the description. Leave a comment and consider being a member. All right, let's talk about the big news. We finally did it, boys. It's done. We have signed Pochettino. It's done.
Christ, I forgot about this.
Is that official from the club?
No, it's not. But it's as official as it gets on the stream.
It's literally
Here we go.
it's literally the only level below official. Like you got
Yeah.
Ornstein, Fabrizio, Matt Law
There you
all
go.
agreeing on this.
It's like unsent secret. It's like a big secret.
Yeah,
You know, Alex, you know what happened yesterday in about 25 minutes? Matt Law
What?
announced it. Then Fabrizio said, "Here we go," and then Ornstein dropped the dagger in about 25 minutes.
I actually,
Right, we got
I
everything.
actually saw Fabrizio said it first. Then was
Did he say it first?
Matla.
I do apologize.
Yeah.
And if he said, but in some whatever way they did it, they all said it within about 25 minutes of it actually happening
All right,
yesterday. So you got the triple whammy essentially.
But we did.
Oh, and then,
Let's
sorry,
get through.
Sorry, then Pies copied and tweeted it.
He did. Yeah, true. There you go.
Just to
Let's
keep
get to these
up.
tweets. All right. So Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea are now set to appoint Mauricio Pochettino as new head coach. Here we go. Full agreement in place as expected. Pochettino has accepted all conditions of long-term deal. It will be signed and completed soon after negotiation, very advanced since April.
For 3 years.
We have Ornstein here. Chelsea agreed terms Mauricio Pochettino to new head coach in the summer. Details of 51-year-old appointment to be finalized in coming days. Joined by Jesus Perez, Miguel D'Agostino, Sebastiano Pochettino, which I believe is his son, right? Tony Jimenez, plus club coaches. Next tweet we have here. Poor
That's
Graham
not
Potter.
coach.
No. Mauricio Pochettino is set
Hold
to
on a
sign a
second.
new...
Pochettino's son as a coach?
Is set to sign a 3-year contract with Chelsea. The Times understands Chelsea have opted to return to the more common contract length of 3 years after giving 5 years to Graham Potter, which is why Graham Potter is
We
on this
live, we
picture.
learn.
Yeah, we live
I
and we
didn't know
learn, which is
Pochettino
good.
has a son that is a coach.
He's been
Yes.
with him. He's been with him
He's got a-
since in Spurs.
He's got a son who's a footballer as well.
Isn't Ancelotti also have a son that coaches with him?
I have no idea.
I
Please,
know
I can't
Poch,
remember.
one of his sons does.
Look
was
what
on his
we
staff
did to
at-
this guy. This guy looks.
I knew you were gonna say
Yeah, I
something.
know. He's got the biggest bag under his eyes.
Poor
Man.
guy.
That
Get some
looks like,
cucumbers on your eyes, man.
No, like remember Obama when he became president and after he finished presidency?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah, come on, Alex. That job is stressful.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
not
The
as-
Chelsea
not
job
as
is probably more
stressful as
stressful.
Chelsea, man.
Yeah.
the only bags are bigger was the 13 million we gave to Potter to kick him
Oh,
out.
my days. True. Oh my days. So 3-year contract. Chelsea owners are said to welcome being challenged by Poch and his staff. The issue with Tuchel was that they perceived he was brooding on issues, seemingly resenting questions, yet not challenging the owners openly. This is coming from Rob Draper at Mail Sport, which, to be fair, I think that's reasonable for the owners. I don't know if you agree with that.
The issue I have is what's the point?
Oh,
in
it's
bringing
not
the
like he
Tuchel?
had the good. He
I
I was
wasn't
going to
right.
say that's the thing. Like
What's the
again,
point?
like this fucking country and its media. Like, why are you talking about a guy who hasn't been here for nearly a year? But like, we're what 4 months away from it being a year since he was last at this football club.
Yeah.
Like, he's in another job. Stop fucking talking about him.
It destroys this yes man mentality or narrative
No.
that keeps being posted out.
It's funny. If Tuchel was wrong, did they show that they know anything? Like based on what we know now, Tuchel was right. They don't know nothing. Why? You see what I'm saying? Like he didn't read the opinions, and he was right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they learn now. Why? You see what I'm saying? Like why they did not have patience with him learning versus, oh, let's get somebody unexperienced and we'll learn from it. We end up where we at.
It's been
And you also-
expensive learning.
My
session.
guy.
Yeah,
You
that's
also-
expensive learning.
You also got to think about the
Right.
fact that, like, wasn't it reported as well that the board were almost completely unanimous that Potter needed to be sacked, but it was Bowley that was kind of keeping the wheels rolling.
No,
No,
it was Ed
Yeah,
Barley as
that's
well. Didn't
true.
want to do it. It was
No.
mainly the what's their names? Win Stanley and Stewart, the ones that were like pushing for it.
Yeah, well,
Pushing to be sacked. Those
Yeah.
are. But Bolo was the one that wanted him to wait.
But you can understand that because
He's the one that made
know what I
that
mean?
stupid decision.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So he doesn't admit he got it wrong.
So for Pochettino and the plans for Chelsea, here's what I found.
you,
Pochettino and
Broadway.
Chelsea will make decisions together, and both of their thinking will be, let's think about it. Let's think about the long term for contracts extension, signings, players to be sold, and loan deals. Furthermore, Mauricio Pochettino pinpoints 5 Chelsea stars to build team around after agreeing deal. Pochettino wants to rebuild Chelsea from the back and sees N'Golo Kante as pivotal to providing the protection he needs in front of the back four. Young defenders Benoit Badiashile and Levi Colwell are also safe, along with fullbacks Reece James and Ben Chilwell. Fair enough.
I hope he
I
gets
just don't
sacked
believe this
instantly if
comment,
that's
but
the case.
We are not building
What'd you
a
say,
team
Pete?
around Kante.
I hope he gets sacked instantly if that's real. Are you kidding me? 2 left-footed center backs and Ben Chilwell on the pitch?
Yeah,
Jesus
that's not true.
Christ.
And we are not building a team around Kante either.
Yeah, we'll see.
The only good thing is he wants to build the team from the back. That's why I was because that's
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yes.
But
No, it's funny
just
how
don't
we
think
see
it's
these
true,
random
though.
reports. We see these very random because it was all about how Pochettino, according to Simon Phillips, loved Mason Mount like 3 days ago. And then you see this guy from the Sun today say, Mount's pretty much leaving. It is what it is.
Arsenal for 60 million.
Talks have been dead for a minute. It's funny. Like, there was all of this talk about maybe collaboration with Lampard and taking over and constant communication. It turns out he's not even in the country.
I wouldn't speak to him anyway. If even
I don't think he will.
I don't think he should.
We'll see. So David Ornstein saying here, Mauricio Pochettino will collaborate with Chelsea sporting directors and Frank Lampard, who is the interim head coach before the end of the season. We'll see what happens. Mauricio Pochettino is currently probably a transitionary thing. I don't know. Mauricio Pochettino is currently in Spain, but will fly into London in the coming days to complete formalities attached to his new job. Chelsea are already aware of some of the Pochettino's planning suggestions, with co-director of recruitment and talent Joe Shields understood to be playing a key role in preparing for his arrival in terms of reshaping the squad. What else do we have here? Chelsea will put some club staff with Pochettino staff to really hope build what they hope will be a proper formidable coaching unit that avoids them having to make another change in the dugout. This is coming from David Ornstein from NBC Sports. So
Wait,
pretty much
we have club staff
corrupt staff
that are coaches that are not fired.
I don't know who's there. Is it? It's Lampard's team that's there, isn't it? They're going to go. So who else is there?
Yeah, who is this mythical club staff that we are blending with Pochettino staff?
Who are you
That's
talking
not
about?
what
The
we're
youth team
talking
staff?
about, Peter. That's not what we're talking about. Staff as infection.
Oh,
Uh,
the only
But overall-
at the moment is Lampard with his training methods.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I don't want Lampard's coaches coaching with the guys next year at all.
Yeah,
Absolutely
they don't
not.
coach. They only do one-on-one counselling.
I was gonna say this is what I was like. My comment earlier. I don't want Lampard or his coaches or anything about him anywhere near Pochettino or his coaches next season. Absolutely not.
Let me ask you a question. What the hell can Mauricio Pochettino get from a conversation with Frank Lampard about coaching?
How to lose
a
games.
headache.
Well, no, it's,
No, to be fair, that'll be a very enlightening conversation. You just ignore every piece of advice he gives you or do the opposite of.
exactly.
I don't know. I just don't think there needs to be a line of communication and some sort of I just don't think there needs to be anything. It's very simple, Pochettino. Just get us in the top half, and you're already better than Frank Lampard. It's not hard.
Yeah, don't lose 6 games in a row. How about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
enough.
Keep
Yeah,
a clean
lose 5.
sheet.
It's fine. One less.
Maybe keep a clean sheet every once in a while. That'd be nice. Because we're at 8 in a row with no clean sheets now. We play Holland next, so that's fun.
He said Holland
Lampard
out of Man
tax.
City.
We're gonna arrest them because of Champions League. So we're good. We already won the Premier League, so we're gonna arrest the players.
They're gonna rest him. All right.
But they play Champions League on Wednesday and then us afterwards. They're not going to rest him.
Yeah, so we're gonna play and we're gonna arrest him so he will not get injured.
No, you wish.
Hey, this guy's got a lot of wishful thinking going on, man. We're holding 5. It is what it is.
Even with the rested team, man.
Whether like Alvarez won't just come in and rinse us anyway.
I was going to say that's the thing. Even if they rest players, we're talking like Alvarez. They're just going to ruin this.
Yeah, Alvarez is gonna pummel
Guys,
us.
it's fine. We got this new formed spine of a team with Chilwell in it, apparently. We'll be all right.
And we all know how Mahrez likes to dunk on us as well.
We got Lewis Hall, mate. It's all right.
Lewis Hall again. We saw how that worked out the first time.
Where's the other two left backs?
We actually said that
All right,
we're
both
gonna
out for the
lose to
season.
Everton.
Wait, what?
Somebody on the
Wait,
Lewis.
Scott, what do you mean what?
Sorry. Wait. When did this happen?
You didn't know this?
No, bro, I didn't know. Dude.
You
Cucurella
thought
got
they just weren't
injured.
playing?
To be
Cucurella
fair, I
got
wouldn't have put it past Lampard.
Now, Cucurella got injured just after Madrid and Chilwell very recently.
Chilwell's fat. He like pulled his hamstring or something.
Dude, we're going to Man City without any fullbacks and Culver and Kante injured.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what,
We are
guys?
better.
Who plays next week?
No, we are better saying to them, we'll forfeit the game because it only goes down to 3-0 loss.
I was gonna say we'll forfeit the game, give all 3 goals to Haaland. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah. Dude. Oh man, ask Billy Quetta and Lewis Hall at fullback.
oh my god.
No, it's going to be Chalobah and Lewis Hall at fullback.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be
I
Chelsea.
didn't even realize it was that bad. Oh
Yeah.
god.
It's bad.
No,
Oh,
it's because
Scott,
what happened
you
was,
lost
Scott,
Kovacic
we
for
won
the
last
season
week,
too.
Scott. Scott, what happened is we won last week, got to 42 points, and everyone's anger's just gone. It's serious.
Bro.
True.
Yeah, man. We
Everyone's
can't lose
mellow,
points no matter how much we
The
lose.
only
so-
one thing is encouraging. It's every time Scott says we're getting better, we never do. So
That's not true. That's definitely not true.
It's Man City. I think this time I can actually agree. I agree with Scott on that one. Because to be fair, we didn't lose as bad to Real Madrid as I thought we would. We only held 2. We held 2 on both legs. We held 2.
Slapped 4-0 on aggregate.
we-
laughing at us
oh,
by the end of the time.
We
I was
we
gonna
were
say
we
this
were
is-
we were. I was told we were gonna hold 4 and 5, but we held 2.
did.
Oh, we did.
No, we
overall.
did. Aggregate.
Yeah, all aggregate.
Also,
Marshall, they were
I was
laughing at us.
talking about aggregate at the time, but
Marshall,
okay.
they
sure.
were
Sure.
Marshall, they
Point.
were laughing at us by the end of the second leg. What are you talking about? They literally
Yeah, they were
walked the ball in
jogging.
our own- They walked
I
the
was
ball
gonna
in our
say.
own net.
They were shocked.
this, I'll say this is a Madrid side that barely got out of third gear.
Yeah.
They walked the ball in our own net. What do you mean? They humiliated
Yeah.
us.
I love that.
Yeah,
They were shocking.
it's true. They weren't even
This
trying
guy's trying to say
anymore.
it wasn't that bad because we only lost 4-0
Yeah.
on aggregate. What?
Yeah.
They humiliated
Listen,
us, Marshall.
we thought it was going to be 10-0 on aggregate, man. We
It might
thought we
as
were
well
going
have
to
been.
whoop de
It felt
doo.
that way.
get Benzema didn't get his hat trick. There you
And
go.
then we have people talking about a Conte half chance as if we should have been back in the tie.
True.
Oh,
But
my
hey,
God.
we got Pochettino. We got Pochettino coming in now. We're good, man.
Yeah, man, we
We're
got
good.
Pochettino, these mythical, like, random Chelsea staff coaches that are just going to blend with Pochettino's team somehow.
I don't know. I just read tweets out here, man. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't
OG
know
Turbo
who these
Jesus,
secret
you're
agents
correct.
are.
You're
You're
correct.
basically pies with a channel. That's what you are, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty on point. Hey, listen. If
What,
it works, it works.
It
Do
does
any of
work.
you?
I
Do any
don't
of
care.
you?
I don't care as long as we're not making the guard of honor for Arsenal, because that's what I was supposed to be.
Oh, we can't
doing.
anyway. Not playing.
We can't.
No. I know, but that's what it was. I said that we're gonna do
Do any
the
of you
guard
think
of
we're
honor.
getting any points for the rest of the season?
Nope.
Does it
No,
matter?
probably not.
Does it matter now?
If we do, that'd be awesome.
Remember, we
So I
thought-
don't
Keep
think
those
it's
keep those players fit so we can sell them.
Are we not? Are
Yeah.
we not surprised we've got actual 4 extra points than we probably thought we would have had by this time?
Yeah.
Isn't you know? What I
I
mean?
didn't think we get a single win from now to the
Yeah,
We thought-
I was
Yeah.
the one that said we would.
Yeah.
Hey, I
mean,
just want
I
to
thought-
say, the only reason we won last week is because Bournemouth missed a free header from 3 yards out at 1-1.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Like, I don't think there was a huge difference between our performance yesterday and against Bournemouth. I really don't. I just think when Forest had their chances, they took them, and when Bournemouth had their chances, they didn't.
Mhm.
Peter, how many chances did we hit and never is it 100% goal scoring chances that we missed?
That we missed, like recently,
Yeah.
not even that many.
Oh, really? What about what's his name? Felix 1-on-1, Sterling running 1-on-1.
When was this?
Last game.
Sterling
The
had a
first chance of
1v1.
the game.
Yesterday, Sterling had the 1v1 blocked by the defender.
Enzo with the ball over the top.
Yeah, man, Enzo's fat. It doesn't matter. I guess Sterling had a 1v. Oh, he did. I guess.
And
I don't
then
know,
you had
man.
the João Felix header, which
No, I'm talking
I thought it
about
was
the
a good
whole
header. It was a good
season.
save.
The
I don't know.
whole season
I
we
don't.
have so many
these
chances that we
mythical,
could.
these mythical chances that we're throwing away. I don't really be seeing them anymore, man. I don't really.
Why
see
do
this
we need a striker, Peter?
We used to make chances.
The thing is, that's not where I would start if I was trying to fix this problem at all. I don't
start with the
agree
manager.
that
So
we
you
should
do
start
want to from the back with the free left-footed players.
Oh, we can't. I can't see Badiashile and Colwell as center back, man. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I mean,
Pochettino.
Wesley Fofana, Badiashile, man.
I would genuinely rather than play Colwell at left back or something, and just play like Fofana too.
But on that note, ladies and gents, 2.5 hour long stream. We had a jam-packed show. Talked about all heaps, hurdles, and stuff. We even had an appearance from Pete. Where else do you get an appearance from Pete? Smash that like. Pete, don't answer that. Smash that like button, all right?
Fuck you.
Guys, I appreciate you guys being here. Guys, I appreciate you guys being
Chelsea
here.
women for FA Cup
Yeah,
final.
Congratulations.
to one team that actually wins games.
Yes. And also, this one's for the Arsenal fans who bottled a ginormous league lead. You can hold that, and you can also hold that. Right?
This also applies to us, though. We are in 12.
I don't. No. Listen, if we can't win anything, they can't win anything either. Okay.
Okay.
Let me actually
We
turn
win
this
same
on. This is
amount
bad.
of trophies they are.
We did
This season. Yeah.
We
didn't bottle the
did-
league though.
we did bottle 11.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we'll be back. We will be back.
Hey, at least we
Yeah,
won
we'll
11.
be back. We'll be back.
We won 11 for 93% of the season. Though.
Yeah.
This is the
But
biggest
Arsenal fans, you can hold
bottlers-
that.
This is the biggest
Yes.
bottle job in the history of Premier League because never a team been so much in the
the
first
lead?
in the lead to lose it. So
Yeah,
Hold
they
that,
were
Arsenal.
Spursy. Unfortunately,
Hold
for them,
that.
they were Spursy, no?
Hold that, Arsenal. But
worse
anyways,
than
boys,
Spursy.
we're gonna send you off to Shameless. He's still on, probably talking about Arsenal botting this lead. Make sure you are spamming this raid message, copy and paste it over. I'll see you over there. But as always, ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back to when's our next game? I always ask
Next
this. I should
Sunday.
really look next Sunday. We might have a stream midweek. We'll see how
Well,
the news week
well,
goes.
Let's Poch will sign his contract midweek. We could reflect, look to the future or something like that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But for sure, keep your bell notification on so that you know when we do stream. Smash the like if you haven't done so already. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Are we at 1,800 yet? I don't know. Maybe
Yes,
we
we
are.
are at 1,800.
Fuck yeah.
subscribers.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
guys.
You're the best. On to 1,900 next and then 2,000. So
On to 1,801. Let's do that.
Yes, let's go. Thank you guys so much for all the help and support. Be sure to check out the memberships as well. But yeah, on that note, we'll catch you over on Lewis's stream. Have a good night. Stay casual and peace out.